Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
How you doing? How you doing?
It's a great day.
It's a great day. You know, I brought the old Kawhis out.
Boom. I would open it, but it would spew like champagne all over this desk.
We don't want that.
I won, Jenny, yet another case. I'm now up 34 cases on Shannon
Small
Sharpe.
consolation.
Thank you very much. I love it.
battle.
Number 2 actually won me another case of due because I needed somebody to make a last shot so the game would be over and I wouldn't lose in overtime. That's how this works. When you give me 4 points. Thank you.
No.
I appreciate it.
Hold on. You want to put up your text?
Woo.
You want to put up that tweet yesterday?
Yeah.
That's the luckiest shot I've ever seen.
Well,
he quit on my Spurs,
well,
and now you heaping his praise. How you doing, Jenny?
I'm good.
You look gorgeous today.
Help me out, Jenny. Who won that case of due off
I
this
love
game?
that.
Remember what he gave me? 4 points. What was the final score? 2 points.
Happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank
to
you.
everyone
Oh, yeah.
out
Try
there.
to change the subject.
never
Try
know.
to change the subject.
You never know around
It's
here
okay.
what we're about to get to when it is Monday. We have a lot to get to on today's show. Did the Lakers make a mistake
Oh, my
with
goodness.
their coaching hire? We'll get to that. And is it time for the Rockets to blow it up? But hey, we got to start with number 2. Kawhi Leonard made one of the biggest shots in NBA history last night. Game 7 in the closing seconds with the game tied. Kawhi shot from the corner, hit the game winner after it bounced on the rim 4 times. Felt like forever. Kawhi finished with 41 points and had the unbelievable finish to help the Raptors advance to the conference finals. So Shannon, what percentage of the shot was luck and what percentage was skill?
Can't wait for this.
It's 100% skill. Because how many times do you think Kawhi...
Wait, can I hear that one more time,
It was
please?
100% skill.
100%.
100.
S-K-I-L-L as in
Yes.
skill, as in know-how?
No.
Okay.
S-K-I-L-L-Z. Skills.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. How many times during the course of his
What?
career? How many times over the course of his career do you think Kawhi Leonard, left corner, right corner, top of the key, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you listen to him on the court, he said, I missed the 3 short early. So he knows now he's processing. I can't be short.
He was nothing but short. Well, he was nothing but short.
No. If he was short, the ball would have never got over the rim. Anyway, I'm looking at this thing. I wrote it down.
What are we doing?
Hold on. I wrote this down. Shannon was supposed to go first.
Oh.
Sorry,
Wait.
Shannon, still
Yeah.
you.
Okay, that'll be
Keep
awful.
going.
That'll be awful nice.
Keep
of you.
digging that hole.
Thank you. You talk about and you listen to him talk about how he had to make an adjustment from the previous shot. If you look at him, this shot is very, very difficult because not only is that he's going towards right, we see guys shoot that shot a lot of times and it hit the corner of the backboard because they don't take into account that their momentum when you're drifting to your right, your momentum is taking you out of bounds. So you have to shoot the ball a lot earlier. So not only that, Ben Simmons passes him off to Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid contests. So not only does he have to get the shot up over Embiid, he has to put it at a trajectory that I was short last time. I've got to make sure I cannot be short this time.
Sure.
He processed all that information. See, Skip, you think that shot took place then. That shot took place years and years before
Lord have
it
mercy
ever
on my
presented
soul.
itself. And to go through what he had to go through, Skip, do you know he scored 15 points in the fourth quarter? The rest of his
That's
team.
not what you
I love Kevin Spanish.
No.
This is my time. If you don't mind, I would like to present my argument. I'll turn the floor over to you. You present your argument, and then I'll come back and smash your argument to pieces. Okay. But anyway, the shot was skill. Luck is what happened when preparation meets opportunity. If you prepare for a particular moment, when the opportunity presents itself, you take full advantage of it. Luck goes to the man that has his house in order. That's what Amundsen said. Luck is what they call it. This is not luck, skill. If you remember, he hit the very shot against Portland a month earlier, and the ball.
It was the very shot. It was 10 feet on the baseline.
There you go.
It was a 10-footer.
And guess what? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, and that shot hit over the front edge of the rim.
And then what did it do? Boom, 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 through the basket.
That shot wasn't bothered. Go ahead.
See, now,
I know it. I watched it live.
Skip, all you doing is you're making Kawhi grow. You're adding yeast to the legacy. You know, Jen, I know you cook a little bit, but when you add yeast to something, Skip, it rises. So all you're doing, every time you open your mouth,
I hear that.
And a toe pops out because you say, oh, he had to get that over. Yeah, you get right. He had to get over 7-foot Joel Embiid.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. He was drifting to his right. And to make sure the ball didn't hit the corner of the rim, the backboard, he did it. 100% skills, and it hurt Skip Bayless because his Spurs are home.
That was simply the silliest argument you have ever made in the history of Undisputed. And I'm about to smash your argument into 1,000 pieces because that shot was 1,000% luck. That was simply the luckiest shot that ever fell to win a playoff game. Ever, ever, ever. In all my years, going back to covering the Lakers here in the middle 1970s, I've never seen a luckier shot that won a playoff game.
Why was it lucky?
Number 2 actually had the audacity after the game, standing on the court in the post-game interview, to say that, I work on that shot every day in practice. No, you don't. Baloney.
How you call the man a liar?
I think it's my turn, and I think you're not going to interrupt me because I didn't interrupt you after the early interruption.
Oh, okay.
Then I bided my time,
really?
and now it is my turn. There is no way he practices a shot to do that because I could give him 100,000 shots, and he could not again make a shot do that because it's almost physically impossible. So what happened? Joel Embiid should have blocked the shot, but he came to a jump stop first. He mistimed his jump, if we could see it one more time. Embiid does a jump stop and hesitates for a second, and then he has to relaunch himself. Joel Embiid is obviously 7 feet 2 inches tall, and if he timed his jump right, he just would have blocked the shot. Now, it's also possible he would have caught some finger, and they would have called a 2-shot foul because it wasn't quite a 3-point shot. It was a 2-point jump shot. So it's possible that number 2 would have had to go to the line to make 1 of 2 to win the game, and I'm pretty sure he could have made 1. But again, Embiid mistimed his jump. But he got enough hand up that he forced number 2 to shoot a rainbow arc shot, which is completely against stereotype of how he shoots the ball. Just for those who haven't watched him as closely as I have, number 2 is a line drive jump shooter.
Yes.
When he's in his rhythm and in his flow, he shoots line drives that barely arc at all and just bottom of net. And the degree of difficulty is high because obviously you cut down the portion of the rim that you can drop the ball through.
Correct.
Okay, so this was completely uncharacteristic of any shot he's ever shot because he was forced into a high arc. But obviously, you say he had to recalculate. Baloney, he recalculated. He left it short. It caught nothing but front iron, the near iron. It hit it hard on the way down. And it actually looks like, believe it or not, that the ball actually caroms a little bit backward. When it hit, everybody in the world thought it was overtime because everybody in the world thought the ball was going to drop straight down onto the court overtime. But what happened? It had some weird forward spin on it. It was almost like the field goals that beat the Cowboys in the Green Bay game, hand of God field goals, where they kind of went the wrong way.
Oh, so you said hand of God tipped that one in?
No, it actually had some weird forward spin on it, and it caught the near iron a second time and somehow went forward. It didn't go backward. It went forward across the rim. And then it hits on the far side once, twice, and now it's losing all its momentum. And it could have fallen left or right, and it fell right. It fell in. And it took forever. And I got to tell you, I was the most shocked I've ever been that a shot went down. And again, I only root for my bets against you, cases of Diet Mountain Dew. So that was my Diet Mountain number 2 shot because I didn't care who hit it. I just needed a shot to fall. So again, my feelings are completely skewed.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy, and it couldn't happen to a worse guy to be that lucky.
If Siakam hit that shot, you could okay, I won the case of do, and I'm good.
Okay, but again, it was the luckiest shot ever because even Nick Nurse said after the game, obviously, it was a nice, lucky bounce. So, again, my partner across the table has called it 100% skill, and even the coach for the Toronto Raptors says, obviously, it was a nice, lucky bounce. L-U-C-K-Y bounce.
There's a difference.
Woo!
Hold on.
Woo-hoo!
If I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty good at understanding and comprehension, there's a difference between shot and bounce. If you want to say the bounce, he got a lucky bounce, you want to say he got a lucky carom, I'll give you that. But you can't say the shot was lucky.
It's totally lucky. They go hand in hand.
No, they don't.
He got a nice lucky bounce. Then don't tell me the shot wasn't lucky. It was the luckiest shot ever. And here's the point. A lot of times you'll see the backboard give you a lucky bounce. If you're shooting from the wings or from the top of the circle, the backboard will help you. It will become your friend. Every once in a while, LeBron James, we've seen, shoot it so badly that it accidentally banks in. You don't call bank, you just get help from the bank.
Oh, so you saying the shot that LeBron hit last year against the Raptors
No,
to win the game?
that was a good shot, but he's made several off the backboard that he didn't call.
Okay.
But the point is, when you're shooting it from the dead corner, there's no backboard help at all.
Right.
The physics are completely against you because there's nothing to stop the shot and knock it back in. You're going to have to get the luckiest bounce ever off the near iron because you hit nothing but iron. You were short. You weren't true. You weren't into the basket. Again, the shot he shot against Portland that won the game was a nice little 10-foot floater, and he got it over the front side of the rim, and then it kind of wobbled and bobbled around, but it fell, but it had fall written all over it because he got it into the cylinder. No, it didn't. It hit hard on the near iron and went straight up.
Skip,
that shot never, ever goes in.
Skip, I think what you're confusing is that when he says he practices the shot, he didn't say he practices the bounce or the carom that ultimately caused the shot.
Well, obviously, he doesn't practice hitting the near iron because it'll never go in off the near iron.
Skip, he practices the shot. He practices falling to his right out of bounds, falling to his left out of bounds.
He shot it poorly because it hit nothing but near iron.
Skip,
it hit it hard. Boom, it hit it hard. No shot from that angle ever goes in.
Think about this. You saying he's a line drive shooter.
He is.
So if he shoots it line drive, Joel Embiid blocks it.
Okay, he had no choice. He got forced into just throwing it up into heaven and hoping it even
caught on. So now he just threw the shot up.
Heck
he
yes.
shot his normal
Heck yes. Heck yes. He never shoots it like that.
Look at that thing.
He has no arc.
Hey, look at it. Skip, you hold on. Look at he got that thing to the side like this, Skip. He hold it like that for you.
I don't think he held the post. I think that's just the camera.
That looked very Michael Jordan-esque. That looks like 1998.
He was sitting on his haunches in the corner watching the ball bounce around. Was that holding the pose?
Yeah.
He was sticking out what became a blue tongue. I don't know why his tongue was blue.
He's drinking
Gatorade. I guess it was, unless he's got lozenges in or something.
It's not like he was down there forever.
I don't know. I don't think he was holding the pose unless he was holding the crouch.
I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, that was Jordan-esque, holding the crouch. Love that. I love that.
Skip.
Okay, so let's go to what was a pure shot. Let's go to the flip side of this. Let's go to the greatest shot ever shot. The greatest clutch shot ever was shot by Ray Allen, and it actually victimized that guy, number 2. Game 6, end of game, end of overtime. Can we see this shot, please? The Ray Allen shot. Thank you very much. I don't want to see it except for LeBron missed his 3, and then it goes to Ray. Nothing but net. That's how you shoot that shot. That's the shot that Ray Allen practices 1,000 times a day.
Right.
That's the shot that number 2 said he practices, but he doesn't practice it like he shot it. He practices it like that's a shot.
Skip.
That's a pure shot.
Listen, I believe both of the guys practiced the shot. Ray Allen backing up, getting his feet behind the three-point line, letting it go. See, you're looking at the bounce. You're overlooking. He says, I practiced that shot. I don't practice the bounce. I don't practice the carom. I'm practicing getting the shot up over someone, falling to my left, falling to my right.
In practice, you don't practice shooting it over a 7-2 guy. You just don't. I'm sorry, you don't do it. Sorry.
No.
Calling BS on that.
I'm saying, do you have a 7-footer out there, but you practice different loft angles? We've seen LeBron shoot the ball at a higher arc. We've seen guys shoot the ball at a higher arc because you're anticipating someone getting a hand up. So you can't shoot your normal. Yes, his normal shot is a line drive shot.
Yep.
But in this situation, he couldn't shoot it because Joel Embiid would have thrown it in the third row. So now he has to factor that in. I've got a 7-foot guy.
Think he practices that? No.
Skip.
No.
Skip, let me ask
Zero.
You, Skip, can I ask you a question?
Oh.
Skip, when field goal kickers are kicking on the adjacent field, they don't always have rushers. They are practicing different angles of the field and position in which they're going to kick the ball.
Completely different.
But if no, it's not.
Yes,
Skip,
it is.
If you're kicking a 60-yarder, you're not going to get the kind of loss as if you're kicking a 30-yarder. You're going to drive the ball.
Okay,
but you have to factor that.
You're practicing 60-yarders, so you're going to have to try to get it up fast.
Get it up, but you're going to have to drive the ball. You don't have that kind of leg. He's saying, Skip, I've practiced this shot. The clock running down. See, everybody has the dream of hitting a last-second shot. Oh, you play baseball, bottom of the ninth.
Sure.
2 out, 2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes, and I knock it out of the park. And in basketball, 5, 4. I'm hitting the game winner. He's practiced that, Skip. You think that?
Practice that. He just hasn't practiced it with the 7-2 guy leaping where he had to shoot this rainbow arc and hope that it even touched iron. And unfortunately for Philly, it caught nothing but iron hard. That shot can't go in. The physics will not let it go
Skip,
in.
if you don't
Trust
mind.
me, it never goes in from that way.
Skip, how many times do you think Tom Brady has practiced throwing a game-winning touchdown with a 6'5" defensive lineman hanging on his shoulder? He doesn't. All he does is practice.
You just made my case. Thank you.
No, Skip.
Appreciate that.
Skip, you practice scenarios of placing the ball and doing certain things.
Yep.
And sometimes the ball get tipped. Sometimes things happen. But it doesn't mean you didn't practice that shot. Okay, he had a lucky bounce. Say the bounce was lucky.
Oh,
Say
well, you just conceded that. Well, then you got to change
Skip, the bounce and the shot are different.
Okay, but you got to turn your skill back and make it 50-50 luck skill.
No, I'm not turning anything around.
Yeah.
The shot was 100% skill. He practiced that shot.
It was 1,000%
No,
luck.
it was
You
Skip,
know it,
Skip,
and I know it.
He told you.
So the physics don't work on the shot, and then the math doesn't work on the game. This is the most bizarre math I've ever heard in a basketball game because you realize Toronto took 89 shots to Philly's 65 shots, and the game was tied with 4 seconds left. Can you compute that for me, Mr. Math Whiz? It doesn't. How about Toronto had 16 offensive rebounds to only 5 for Joel Embiid's team. Can you compute that? Because I can't. Because most of the game, it looked like Toronto just wanted the game much worse than Philly wanted the game.
Skip, you saw the game. I mean, it was 50-41. You're like, okay, Toronto finna run away with it.
Yeah.
And then in the blink of an eye, it's 55-50. Philly. I'm like, what happened? But because Toronto shot the ball so poorly from the field, they only shot 23% from 3. That's what gave Philly an opportunity because they can never make it, even when they got the lead by 7, got the lead by 9, they couldn't put the string together any more shots to push it to 14, push it to 20.
Interesting. So that means that somebody took a whole lot of shots and missed a whole lot of shots for Toronto. Who is that somebody?
Oh.
Could it be number 2? Because number 2 took 39 shots.
Yes.
Are you 39
Yeah,
shots?
I know a guy named Michael Jordan took 39 shots, took 40.
But wait a second. Number 2 only hit 16. That means, wait, he missed 24 shots?
Yes.
Most people don't ever take 24 shots in a playoff game. He missed 24 shots.
Oh, my goodness, Skip.
So
are we doing this today?
What do you mean this? That's what just happened.
I don't think that was the question.
Well, I just said that's how bizarre it was that the ball went in, but also that it was only a tie game with 4 seconds left. How could they be tied?
If you don't mind me asking, yes, Kawhi took 39 shots, but who else was going to shoot the ball? Do you remember the last year? They were the number 1 seed in the East, won 59 games, got swept. The year before that, they got swept. The year before that, they lost in 6. So if I'm looking at this thing, I'm looking at you want Kyle Lowry taking those? You want Mark Gasol?
I know somebody who might very well right now watching our show be talking to his agent on the line saying, you know what, you got to get me out of here. Pascal Siakam. How about that?
No, Pascal.
He wants out.
Hey, Pascal, you can stay. We going to dip. We going to dip. You stay right there. You good,
That's
bro.
the problem. He's probably number 2 is going to dip.
Yeah, we dipping.
But number what is he? 43 is saying, I can't even get the ball anymore.
He
just
shouldn't.
dominates the ball.
He shouldn't.
Wow.
4 for 11.
Well, he almost shot them out of the game by missing 24, and then he made the luckiest shot ever to, quote unquote, save the day.
No.
Way to go.
No.
Way to go.
See what you wanted to happen, Jenny. I know him. I've been working with Skip Bayless very closely in close confined quarters.
You have no
Yes,
idea.
I have a great idea.
No.
He loved the fact that Kawhi missed that free throw. It gave them an opportunity. You see, that's what he wanted to come in.
Thank you for
motivated him.
bringing that up. I appreciate that
because
very much.
you know he's gonna come in.
Jenny, I didn't even put that on my list.
No. Oh, because I can hear him now. Because Friday, if they can just get it close, because Philly are the mentally tougher team. And number 2.
I think we saw that in the fourth quarter.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we saw Philly.
My guy.
Do you realize
Sure enough.
Jimmy Butler had 6 points through 3 quarters, and then he just came to life. My guy, Joel Embiid, was a liability for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, he said, okay, it's time to go now.
And guess what?
Sucked it up.
And you know what? Through the first 3 quarters, my guy held Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons had 5 field goal attempts. That's what he did.
You could hold Ben
Oh,
Simmons.
you
could hold
But I'm
him.
just saying what Kawhi did.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Butler. And then he saw Jimmy Butler getting it going. He said, oh, I got this.
Oh, really?
He said, I got this.
Well, who tied the game with 4 seconds left?
But see,
That was impressive.
no.
Jimmy
impressive.
Butler.
No.
Oh, yes.
Here's what goes unnoticed. Pascal Siakam did a great thing. Because J.J. Redick was running to the 3-point line. Pascal Siakam says, no, I'm not worried about the 2-point because all a 2-point do can tie me. I'm going to make sure, J.J. Redick, you're not getting this 3. He lays it up. Okay, we got 4.2 seconds, and we got old show enough on our side.
You got the luckiest shot in the world.
Who's the master,
Way to
Skip?
go. Way to go.
Don't do that, Skip.
Highly impressive.
Yeah, Skip, why would you do that? Why would you try
I'm not doing it. He did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
He did do
He
it.
made the luckiest shot in the history of the NBA playoffs. I've never seen a luckier one.
Game 7. We've never had a buzzer beater
I like
in
that.
a game 7. That's on his resume.
Yep.
35 points, 10 rebounds.
He should be
That's on his
Be
resume.
a little ashamed. Of
No,
that
he
shot
should be
on his
ashamed.
resume.
You never be ashamed for doing something great. Never be ashamed of that.
Block
Skip,
court
man,
skill.
I know it hurts.
Got it done.
It hurts like brand new shoes that you had this guy.
That's what he can leave with.
Shannon. See, that's what I got the old
You're
Smart
gonna be
water.
just fine
I
with
got the
some water
old Smart
today.
water, Kawhi.
Good news, we will be going back to that game because you can't finish it all in just the first couple of minutes there. But we got to talk about LeBron. Is he upset with the
goodness.
Lakers' coaching moves? We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
The Lakers struck out on Ty Lue and Monty Williams, but Frank Vogel is reportedly their new head coach after agreeing to a 3-year deal over the weekend. Reports also say Jason Kidd will be a, quote, prominent assistant coach who will be there to mentor Lonzo Ball. Vogel was most recently the Magic head coach in 2016 and 17 before being fired. And he spent 5 seasons in Indiana and lost in the conference finals twice to LeBron and the Heat. Shannon, should LeBron be happy about this?
Hell no, he should be very sad, very disappointed, very disillusioned about what transpired with the Los Angeles Lakers. Really, Skip? I want you to say this slow with me. 3 times, Frank Vogel is the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
That's enough. Just say it
One
one
time,
time.
we're
Let
good.
that sink in,
We're
Skip.
I'm good.
Frank Vogel.
Yeah.
Hold on, Frank Vogel, Indy. Frank Vogel, Orlando. This is the same Frank Vogel that had the Orlando Magic when the year after he got fired, won 25 games. The next year, a coach comes in with that same roster, and they get to the playoffs.
That is true.
That's that Frank Vogel.
Yep.
That's your head coach. He's just saw Monty Williams get a 5-year deal. He just saw Luke Walton get a 5-year deal. He took a 3-year deal because he's like, man, I ain't got no options. Of all the options, you get a Lakers, Knicks, Celtics. Contrary to what you think about them, they're in turmoil. They're the gold standard. They're the in name, maybe not in play anymore, Skip, but in name, that's it. And he got that job.
Yep.
And LeBron's like, what have I done to deserve this? Lord, I'm a good guy. He always say, and LeBron, he's like, I give honor to God. He blessed me with a lot of talent. He does the right thing, says the right thing. Yeah, he'll drop a curse word here and there. Skip it all. Who hasn't? Who? I mean, okay, said he said ass a couple of times, but it's in the Bible. Maybe not in that context, but you know what I'm saying, Jenny, Skip. He's like, what did I do to deserve this? All I tried to do was right. I tried to come to the Lakers and turn things around so all of a sudden, again, people are proud to have on the purple and gold. Showtime Lakers, it's supposed to be me and Magic. Magic dip on me. And now they got Kurt Rambis. The hell Kurt Rambis know about coaching. The hell Linda Rambis know about running an organization. And for that matter, Jeannie Buss as well. But this is what happens, Skip, when you get a collection of people who are unqualified for the positions in which they hold. This is what happens. Normally, if this was a regular business, a little day-to-day operation, Skip, and mom and pop had this thing, it was percolating, going along real well. And something happens to the mom and dad, and they pass it down to the siblings, the kids, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. In a matter of time, either someone buys them out or it goes belly up. Well, this can't happen, Skip, because you know how the NBA works. They got TV revenue, they got yada, yada, yada. So this thing will never go. But they don't know what the hell they're doing. Skip, this is utterly ridiculous. Frank Vogel, if you love Jason Kidd so much, why didn't you just hire him? And Skip, before I turn it over, I just want to know one thing. What the hell did Mark Jackson do to not get a call from anyone? Is there someone have a video of him and a goat or him and a sheep in a compromising position? Because, Skip, the man is too good. They talk about, well, Jason Kidd developed young talent. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, cut their teeth under Mark Jackson. Is that not development? I don't know. But I think the man, listening to him talk, he understands the game, Skip, and the man can't get a call. And jack legs like Frank Vogel just get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Man, this is utterly ridiculous. You know what? If Braun went at the Lakers, Skip, you already know. I'd have been out like yesterday.
My turn.
Skip.
Just quick point of order. Mark Jackson is truly a God-fearing man. I'm not totally sure about LeBron James in that context, but you brought it up. I loved everything you said, but you went a little over the edge.
No, Skip, I'm
not sure he's any angel.
No, Skip, I was just joking. I'm just saying, no.
Back to this. Clearly, one thing has come clear, which is Kurt Rambis is now running the Lakers, along with his wife and Jeannie Buss.
Correct.
So Kurt Rambis, just for all those Laker fans out there who are still a little cloudy, he is the new Magic Johnson. He just quietly slid right into that chair in the front office. They're not going to announce it, and they won't have a press conference for it because they would be too ashamed to do that.
Correct.
And it would look too bad.
Yes.
The PR from it would be too bad, and it would put Kurt Rambis in the line of fire because you'd start comparing Kurt Rambis, Magic Johnson, Kurt Rambis, and you'd say, what? Wait a minute. Because Kurt Rambis was the hockey goon on Magic Showtime Lakers. What?
Yes.
What? How did that happen?
He was like the fourth, fifth best player.
Enforcer?
Yeah, he was just the enforcer. That's all he could do, and he had some skill. But again, he was very lucky to go along for that ride. It put him on the NBA map. He does have a I don't know if I'll go to high basketball IQ, but he has a good, sound basketball IQ. And he is very close to Phil Jackson. We saw the two of them sitting upstairs at one of the Lakers practices mid-year. Remember that?
Yes.
So they're in constant touch. So don't underestimate that Phil Jackson is now overseeing the Lakers from afar, from up his place up in Montana. He's on the phone constantly. Kurt Rambis going back and forth, offering his 2 cents. So what was the initial plan? Monty Williams was goal number one, candidate number one. The whole clan flew to Philadelphia to sit with him.
If your last name was B-U-S-S, you got on a plane and you went to Philly.
You went. And why did they love Monty Williams? Because he's a really nice man. He's a good man, and he'll go with the flow. He's very pleasant to be around, and they thought that he could fit in to a hierarchy that wants to control the coach, right?
Correct.
Plan B was really bogus. It was complete. There was no Ty Lue plan B.
No.
Sorry. They wanted to go through the motions and offer him such an insulting number of years and dollars that he would just laugh at them and say, are you serious? I'm out. Because they wanted him to be out because they didn't want to look like they were catering to LeBron James. So now they're in a lurch. Where do we go? Where do we go? Well, wait a second. Frank Vogel, because Phil Jackson at one point when he was going to try to replace Derek Fisher in New York, he did have him as one of the candidates before Hornacek.
Right.
He chose Hornacek. Okay, so at least there was some connection there. But to me, Frank Vogel is Jason Garrett. He's a good puppet because he's another nice guy, low charisma, he's not one to fight back. He's not going to take a stand.
I'm just happy to have a job.
He's happy. He's really happy to have the Lakers
job
because he's been out for a little while now, and he'll just go right along with whatever they say.
Correct.
So Kurt Rambis can kind of coach from above. Phil Jackson can coach from above because Frank will just do their bidding, just the way Jason Garrett is happy to do whatever Jerry wants to do. I'll try that, right? Or Steven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So the X factor here is Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd is his own man.
Right.
So I'm a little surprised they even went that far to let him in the front door because he is the number one assistant.
Right.
Ostensibly because he helped mentor Lonzo a little bit last year. It's kind of cloudy how much. If they just talked on the phone, there's a little more input. But he was hired to handle Lonzo, to try to bring him along and teach him the real ropes of how to be a tougher-minded NBA point guard because Jason Kidd was about as tough as
he was,
right?
Yeah, he's loose, diving on floor, setting picks. Yeah, he didn't back. Yeah,
he did not back down. 6'4", raw-boned, and just took it right to you, played physical defense.
Skip, can we really get to the crux of this? Let's be all the way real. You ain't know what this is about. This is about Jeannie Buss. This is about the Rambuses saying, LeBron James, you don't run jack here but your mouth. They went way outside of the scope to get a guy. LeBron, Frank Vogel? Of all the people you could have hired, this is them saying, Rich Paul, LeBron's agent at Clutch Sport, becoming more and more powerful throughout the NBA because he's gaining more and more guys that have superstar potential. You ain't run this. You don't run this. So let me tell you how much, we're going to show the world just how little say and input you have in this. We're going to get a guy that's no better than a high school coach in this situation. Now, he's had success in Indiana, but to put him in that, because at the end of the day, anytime you have LeBron James, championship is the expectation.
Well, who said no to him twice in Indiana in the conference finals?
Bron.
And he had a little assistance from Dwayne Wade, but I'll give you that.
Yeah. And so, and then got him, I think he was, wasn't he there when LeBron went back to Cleveland?
Can't remember if they crossed.
Might have been Nate McMillan.
Yeah, I think it.
But that's what this is about, Skip. This is my team. That's about you. Look, this is what you go get served.
Sure.
It's like a restaurant, Skip. My grandma used to say, "Boy, hey," I'm like, "Granny, I don't want to eat that." She said, "Well, do without." LeBron James, I don't want no Frank Vogel. Okay, well, do without. That's your coach. You got no choice in the matter. If you're going to play for the Lakers, you're going to play under Frank Vogel.
The message is we pay you $36 million.
Yeah.
Next year is it 40?
Might jump up to 40 because I think it was a 4-year deal worth $155 million.
So it might be $40 million. We pay you $40 million. You'll like it.
Yes. You'll like Frank Vogel.
Yeah.
Frank Vogel is the head coach. Skip, my thing is, if you like Jason Kidd so much, why in the hell you just hired him?
I agree, because he deserves to be the head coach. But this is my issue, and I told you this Friday. If, in fact, Jason Kidd is even the defensive coordinator, the one thing he will not let LeBron get away with, even in year 17, is he's going to want him to play more defense than he played. It's just the way Jason is built. He's going to hold LeBron's feet to the fire, and I don't know if LeBron's going to like that either.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. You remember when they interviewed Ty Lue? They ended up hiring David Blatt, but they told David Blatt, you got to hire Ty Lue. LeBron spent no time talking to David Blatt. He spent all his time talking to Ty Lue.
Yep.
Okay.
So you know what's going to happen, Skip.
Well, now again, are they going to talk defense?
They're going to talk, he ain't talking to Frank Vogel about nothing.
Well, I know why Jason Kidd took this job, took a backseat to Frank Vogel, because he believes that Frank Vogel won't last long and he'll be positioned to take over the Lakers. That's what he believes.
Yes.
That's interesting.
But I'm not sure that the front office wants any part of Jason Kidd the way they want to control the coach.
Right.
Because remember what happened to Jason Kidd his first go-round? Remember about in New Jersey?
You know what I've learned? I've learned that in all the pro sports, it's when ownership gives up control and let the people that they've hired, that they've put in place, do their job, those are the teams that become successful.
That's true.
You look at the Patriots.
Yep.
You look at the ownership in Golden State.
Yep.
They ain't trying to tell Bob Myers. They're not trying to tell Steve Kerr what the hell to do. But Jeannie, for some reason, and Kurt Rambis is running the Lakers.
He is
day to
running
day.
the Lakers. Yep.
So how do you? Okay, we got Kawhi. Okay, Kawhi's up. Got Kawhi coming in the building. We're gonna take him to this nice restaurant. We take him to Avra. We take him somewhere. I don't know, what the nicest restaurant, whatever the nicest restaurant.
Wherever he wants.
And Kurt, he gonna take a meeting with Kurt.
Yeah, who takes him?
Kurt?
Who takes him to dinner?
You know who's taking him to dinner. If anybody come to the Lakers, you know why they're coming, and you know who's gonna be the overwhelming guy that picks them up and rides him. Because if they want to be in the catbird seat, 2-3.
I thought I'd feel better.
Kurt will take him for a bird.
Kurt ain't gonna know where them people don't even want to. Kawhi and KD or Kyrie, you keep hearing Skip. That thing get louder and louder.
Yep.
Like the heartbeat is starting. Guy with all of a sudden the heart is poof, poof. You hear that? That's Kyrie coming up. I'm like, what? Kyrie coming to L.A.?
I had several breakfasts with Kurt Rambis at the Residence Inn in Southington, Connecticut.
Did ya?
It's 5-star.
5-star.
Yeah, it's
Well, he should have
5-star.
still been
it's
there.
Unbelievable what you can get.
Let me ask you a
on
question.
The buffet.
When you're sitting there, you're having eggs Benedict, or you having 2 eggs over easy or sunny side up. Did you ever think Kurt Rambis would be running the Lakers?
Nope. Not in my wildest nightmares did I ever think that.
I thought I would feel better when the Lakers had a coach, and it almost feels worse.
Yeah, it does.
It almost feels like it
Then it
can't
came out better.
get
Skip, just wait
better.
another while. No coach is better than what they just hired.
I'm sure we'll have plenty more to talk about. No mercy. The Warriors, they were without the injured Kevin Durant and still advanced to their 5th straight conference finals after beating the Rockets in Game 6. Steph Curry didn't score a point in the first half, but then he went off, dropping 33 in the second half. Klay Thompson added 27 to help seal the win. James Harden scored 35 and had an MVP year, but once again, he comes up short in the playoffs. Shannon, do you give more credit to Golden State or blame to Houston?
I'm going to give credit to Golden State. Skip, you and I picked the Rockets to win this game. I had Golden State to win the series. But something that I said, and I remember, I said, I want you to understand that 4 of the 5 starters that's going to take the court have won a championship. They've been to 2 championships. They were 73-9, and they still have a 2-time league MVP. And the last time he won that award, he won it unanimously. Klay Thompson is a 3rd option, but he can drop 60. And never in the history of the NBA have we ever seen a guy that's a 3rd option that has this kind of nuclear capabilities. I say now they're going to be ultra aggressive because they have no worries. If I shoot 3 times in a row, is that going to take KD off? If Klay shoots 2 times in a row and KD hadn't taken a shot in the last 6 or 7 possessions, is that going to tick him off? They don't have to worry about that. I say, you watch how the ball moves. You watch these back cuts, and you watch the guys hit the floor to get loose balls. Skip, Draymond, what did Draymond say? When he had that disagreement with KD, he said, called him, you know what? We won before you got here. If you want to dip, get to stepping. So this is a prideful team. Klay Thompson, your 3rd option. Steph got in foul trouble again, Skip. 0 points. And this is when I know. I said, the Rockets are in trouble. Steph has 0 points and they're tied at the half. If he does anything in the second half, now I didn't expect him to go that. I said, if he does anything in the second half, Rockets, y'all in a heap of trouble. Klay goes for 21. Okay, you see Steph's in foul trouble. Why in the hell won't you trap Klay Thompson? Say, no way. Iggy, Kevon Looney, Livingston, all you other guys, if y'all going to go hot, get hot. But that guy. And then Steph comes back. And Steph says, I got to get going. And I got to get going in a hurry. And he lights up. And it's over. This was a prideful unit. Skip, you James Harden for real? That's on your resume, James. Now, that's 2 years in a row. How in the hell? I'm going to let you go, Skip. I'm going to finish that up later. Go ahead. Y'all want you to go.
You were heading toward my bottom line. My bottom line to this question, this discussion is I blame James. And again, you're exactly right. Steph and Clay deserve credit, but they do this a lot. It's who they are. It's who they've been for all these years.
It's been suppressed because KD is such a monster.
Correct. Steph has struggled in many big playoff games, and that was the clutchest I've ever seen him. Mm-hmm. And I think he was furiously motivated by the fact that he had scheduled a personal private shooting session in that arena on Thursday night.
Right.
And I don't know what happened. I just read this, but
was
Chris
it Thursday
Paul,
night, Thursday morning? Thursday night.
Thursday night,
okay.
I believe. And Chris Paul got wind of it and not only canceled it, he showed up and took the hour away from Steph Curry. And Steph said something after the game.
Kick me off the court again.
Yeah.
Kick me off the court again.
Yeah.
A little
see
added.
what happens. So it fueled his fire.
Yes.
But he caught nothing but fire in the fourth quarter, and it was highly impressive. But it was as impressive as James Harden was not. Here's my bottom line to the Houston Rockets as we know and sometimes love them. He's just not that guy. He's made for the regular season, and he was doing things offensively in the regular season. You agreed. They were just extraordinary. He was doing things we'd never seen before. But when push comes to shove, which literally starts happening in a playoff series, especially the later you get, he just starts to fade and ultimately disappears. And you say, well, wait a second. If you look at the fourth quarter stats of Saturday night's game, it looks pretty good. He made 5 of 8 shots, 2 of 4 from 3. But what isn't readily apparent is what he didn't do or the bad plays that he made, because if you go all the way across, he had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter, just in the fourth quarter. So here's what was crazy about this game. The game got tied at 97 with 6:31 left, and it stayed tied all the way down to 3:42. So that's like a 3-minute chunk where it's just begging for the home team to say, win it, take it. Well, who's the best player? Well, it's that guy. It's James Harden. James, do it. Go, go, go. So let's look at what happened if we can look at these little lowlights. 5:06 left. Look at the layup that James missed. Have you ever seen him do this before? Watch this layup. This is just, he gets open. He almost missed the rim with it. How do you do that?
Odd.
It's just, he's way better than that. We've seen him make that with his eyes closed. Right? Okay, gagging a little bit. I totally agree. Okay, here's one of the 2 missed threes. He had another one that was more wide open, but 2:55 left. And they're down 5, and they need this, and he gets a pure step
wide
back.
open.
That's pretty wide open, and he leaves it. It just barely ticks the front of the rim. So, okay, you got to make that, James. You know, that's just it just takes the heart out of your team because you're known to make that shot. Then let's look at 2:24 left. This is a 2-point game. You're down 2. The offensive foul on Draymond. What are you doing?
Why?
You just shoved him.
What
are you doing?
Why?
You just shove him away, and it's offensive foul, turnover. You can't do that. The game is teetering. This is your big moment.
You should
Am I
have
right?
known, Skip. We should have known.
Okay.
James Harden is an 88% free throw shooter. And in the first quarter, he missed 3.
He did.
He missed 5 for the game. He
five
shot
for the
58%.
That's
You tell me he doesn't feel the pressure.
No,
he doesn't know what this moment
feeling the
represents.
pressure.
And the fact of the matter is, now, I've been told, and everybody's been saying in circles now, that Kevin Durant is the best player in all of basketball. How can James Harden allow a team in which the best player in basketball does not show up,
you can't.
and you lose in your building? Now, that's twice.
Yeah.
No, let me take that back. I'm lying. I'm not going to lie on national television. That's the 3rd time in 3 years that James Harden has lost a Game 6 on his home court.
It is.
Yeah, that's not
Now,
And each time was a flame out where you were the reason your team fell apart.
so
Let me show the last one
Go
because
ahead.
this is the last turnover. This is the 4th bad play. It's 1:25 left in the game. They're down 5. And look at the inbounds pass. He just throws it right to the clay. You can't do this. This is how you lose at home to Golden State, right?
Yeah.
Come on. What are you doing? So there are 4 bad plays in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They all cost your team points,
Right.
points.
Right.
Okay, so I take nothing away from Steph and nothing away from Clay because they're just mentally stronger, whatever it is.
Yes.
They're just better than James Harden. But when push comes to shove, and you pointed out, the closeout game at Golden State in 2015, he had 12 turnovers. The Game 6 disappearance against my Spurs when he was 2 for 9 from 3 and scored 10 points.
Game 6 last year?
Game 6 and Game 7 last year. He was a combined 6 for 25 from 3, and he had 14 total turnovers in those 2 games. You can't win like that.
And yeah, he bears because he's the superstar, so he's going to get the lion's share of the blame.
Yeah.
Because guess what, Skip? When he's putting up these historic numbers in the regular season, he got the lion's share of the credit. But Clint Capella.
I mean, he's still, I think it's 50-50 on MVP.
I think so, too.
Okay.
I think Giannis probably going to win it. But, Skip, I can't forget. Clint Capella, after they beat the Clippers, after they beat Utah, he was sitting right next to CP3. I want the Warriors. We want the Warriors, considering how it played out. And he played like a bum all series long.
He did.
Now, here's the thing, Skip, that goes unnoticed. Eric Gordon picked the wrong time to have his worst game in the series.
Okay. Maybe the stage got too big for him, too.
But you know what? At what point in time, D'Antoni?
Yeah.
You can say Steve Nash won 2 MVPs. James Harden has won an MVP. It's fun to watch. But what we see come playoff time is that the style, because you know at the end of the day what it involves, that Skip, you can't get a stop.
Yep.
Once they got going, they couldn't D up enough to get one stop.
James will steal the ball. He had 4 steals.
Yes.
He'll roam and get his hands on balls, but he doesn't lock people up.
You can't get a stop. And you look how they wanted the ball, the rebounds. Kevon Looney. Look at Iggy. Look at Livingston. Guys hitting the floor like we want it more than you.
Correct.
Because I know they're thinking, they're like, we finna go ahead. They're going to lay down and go back because they want to go. No. They're like, why would we do that? Why would we run the risk of getting someone hurt in a game 7? No, we're going to be rested. There is no game 7. They treated game 6 like a game 7.
They did.
You see the intensity in which they played with?
I did.
Steve Kerr convinced those guys the 50-50 balls need to be 100% in our favor.
Correct. Yep.
The hustle plays, us. Offensive rebound, us.
Okay.
Play smart.
And the final point is, just in case some have forgotten, Game 5 at Golden State, Kevin Durant is lost late in the 3rd quarter.
Yes.
And it's time, it's on a silver platter for James Harden to say, okay, we got this. Because if you win that game, you
go home with a chance to close it out.
Good. And James Harden went from the 10:47 mark of the 4th quarter down to 18 seconds left without making a field goal. That's just disappearing. In that game, he just said, I won't shoot us out of it because I won't shoot us in it. I won't even try. Really? Okay.
You should have, from game 5, should have told you. When KD went out, look how aggressive Steph became. Look how aggressive Clay became. So what the hell you thought was going to happen with no KD? They're going to be who they are. Draymond told you crystal clear. He verbalized that to KD. Bro, we won before you got here. 73 games we won. An NBA title we won. A 2-time MVP. You see the thing is, everybody look at Steph, and Steph did something that very few guys. Tell me an MVP candidate. No, not a candidate. He won the award. A 2-time league MVP. So you know what? He driving. Get out the car. And sit in the passenger seat. That's what Steph Curry did. And so everybody's like, Steph Curry, but okay. Keep on thinking he a bum. The dude legit. And you saw it firsthand. 33 second half points, and they go into the Western Conference Finals because of that performance. Those two, okay.
James Harden, bottom line, is who we feared he was. He's not that guy. Sorry.
And you got to know that hurts for him. He knows it, too, at this point.
He
knows it, too. Someone else who did get it done, maybe proving he's one of the best.
What?
Skip, one of the best players ever.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard. We'll talk about that and everything he did. The Claw next.
No mercy.
Back to the NBA we go. And Kawhi Leonard, who hit an unbelievable jumper at the buzzer last night after it bounced 4 times on the rim. Kawhi helped the Raptors advance to the conference finals despite shooting a very poor 16 for 39 from the field. He averaged nearly 35 points and 10 rebounds in the series after averaging about 27 and 7 during the regular season. Shannon, what did Kawhi prove this year?
Skip, you don't even prove this Skip. He proved he's a superstar beyond superstardom.
Oh, beyond?
Yeah, beyond this, Skip Bayless.
What are we? Is he the new GOAT or is
No. Whoa. Let's not get that far down.
Is tomorrow the GOAT mask?
No. Look, this is the best version of Kawhi. He had a career high in points. He had a career high in rebounds. He had his second highest total in assists. He's a two-time All-NBA, first-team All-NBA player. He's a two-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a Finals MVP. Skip, I thought everybody, he was universally regarded as the best two-way player in basketball. And averaging 25, 26 points a game, you're like, okay, yeah, wow.
You used to tell me that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm like, but this, 35 and 10, it shows you this is what superstars are supposed to do. To be able to take over a ball game. And that's what he can do. Because, you know, he's like, oh, Ben Simmons, oh, you had a great game last game. Nah, bro, you ain't getting it today. Oh, Jimmy Butler, you about to take off? Nah, let me go ahead and shut this down. Anybody that starts to make a run on the opposing team, he can snuff it out. And then go get your 40. You saw the numbers.
I don't know. Jimmy Butler tied the game with a layup on
a layup. Hold on.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how Jimmy Butler shot 5 of 14. He shot 1 of 6 from 3. Hey, you talk about that. You want to talk about 2 points. You know, don't do that, Skip. That's so unbecoming. And how, if I'm not mistaken, Kawhi outscored Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid by himself. Since you over there bumping your gums like that. But anyway, before I was trying to make my point.
How do I bump gums?
Yeah, you over there talking.
I got teeth.
Nah, you bumping
I got real teeth.
But anyway, can I finish my point, Skip? Are you gonna don't interrupt me again. Don't interrupt me again, Jenny. He's interrupting me.
Sorry, he's up to something over
Yeah,
here.
I know he's up to something. He's up to no good.
I'm wanting to talk about this.
He's a top 5 player in the NBA. And what he proved is that he's not a Spurs system player. He is a system.
Oh,
because
everybody,
Greg Popovich made him. Greg Popovich did this. He had the luxury of playing with Timmy Duncan and Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. You're like, yeah, that was good. That was great. I'm glad I got an opportunity to play with these guys. But I'm so much better than 2 of those 3 now. He ain't Tim Duncan yet. He ain't Tim Duncan yet. Now, let's not get carried away. I ain't gonna get carried away, Skip. Because people are like, oh, yeah, he's the best. No. He ain't better than Dunk. No. But he's a superstar. He can take it deep into the playoffs. He can hit big shots. And if you got a player on the opposing team that think he can go get you 30 or 40, Kawhi Leonard said, not on my watch.
My turn. Thank you very much.
All right.
You done with all of your
Don't do this again.
bumping of gums over there? What number 2 proved to me this year is that crime pays. And I'm talking about basketball crime, because what he committed against the classiest organization in maybe of all sports, but at least the Patriots of the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs that I have known and loved since the 1980s, it was nothing but a basketball crime, because he flat out quit on them, and he successfully quit his way right out of San Antonio. God bless him. But it just turns my stomach that he, quote unquote, won. Crime pays. It worked. Way to go. So let's go back and see what happened. The most player-friendly, conservative medical staff to me in all of sports belongs to the San Antonio Spurs. They are nothing but good to their players. They always lean in favor of the players. Oh, you don't feel 100%? Take another game off. Greg Popovich is known for resting players. Am I right about that?
Yeah, he
started it. And what happened? I don't know exactly what happened, but number 2 last year just decided he couldn't play because he had a thigh bruise. So he played all of 9 games, hit and miss through the first couple of months of the season. And the last game that he played was on January 13th, at which point the Spurs medical staff had completely publicly cleared him to do all basketball activities. They said he is 100% ready to play NBA games, and he shut it down on January 13th. So then we fast forward all the way until March 17th, and 2 Hall of Famers, surefire Hall of Famers, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, they each have 4 rings, 4 each. They decided to call a players-only meeting. Remember this one?
Yeah, I remember.
And they held number 2's feet to the fire. And they said, look, we just need to know, because we think we're pretty good here. We got a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs this time, maybe even all the way to the finals. Are you with us or not? You know how this guy is. I don't know. I'm still not right. timetable? Is it a timetable?
No.
2 weeks, 3 weeks? No timetable. Nope. And number 2 is kind of a weird.
Yeah, he said there's a timetable.
He's hard to read.
You know what he said? He said, yeah, there's a timetable. 1 sucker times 1 sucker is 2 suckers that's in my face. I'm up out of here. The first chance I get, I want you to know, Tony Parker. I want you to know, Manu Ginobili. I'm dipping.
Okay.
And let's see what you do without me.
And then Hall of Fame bound Tony Parker called him out the next day and maybe drove the final nail in the quote-unquote coffin in San Antonio. And if we could see what Tony told the media the next day, please.
You know what he told him.
Just stay positive. I've been through it. It was a rehab for me too for 8 months, so same kind of injury. Mine was 100 times worse, but same kind of injury, and just try to stay positive.
100 times worse.
So
Tony
now you a
Parker
doctor.
in the previous playoffs against Memphis ruptured his quadriceps. He ruptured it. It tore apart. This guy had a thigh bruise. So for Tony Parker, who never calls anybody out, who in his whole career in San Antonio never said a negative word about anybody publicly, said that.
Yeah, he said
100 times worse.
Yeah, he should have kept his mouth shut.
Woo.
But Skip, hold on. Let me tell you. Let me look here, Skip. I didn't go to med school. I don't have citation from 7 different New England medical boards.
Hurry, because I'm not finished.
Skip, a doctor can give you a prognosis and says, this is what you have, and this is what we think the timetable is going to be. But that doesn't mean it's definite. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to pin him down. It's like women have babies. Some women come back and they're exercising in a week, and then some women come back, they're exercising in 6 months. Okay. You trying to put it, okay, well, Tony Parker did this, so Kawhi should have been able to do that.
Okay.
No.
My money's on the San Antonio medical staff. That's just me.
Okay, Skip.
Okay, so what happens after that? He just wanted out, and I think he was just trying to force his way out of small market San Antonio and maybe out from under Greg Popovich. They seem to have gotten crossways. I don't know. Pop's tough. He's difficult, but he's also highly successful, and most of the players who have played for him swear by him, not at him.
Sure.
Yes.
But this guy quietly was swearing at him, I think, because he just wanted out. And finally, R.C. Buford, the best general manager in all of basketball, said, I give up. I trade you to Toronto. So number 2 goes up to Toronto, and they basically get down on their knees and say, please,
Like he can't
commit to us long term. We need you. We want you. We'll do anything. He missed 22 games this year for quote-unquote rest.
Yes.
I don't know what it was.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it, but the greats of this game, and you're talking about he's a superstar, superstar. The greats never took off games for rest. Did MJ, did Magic or Bird or Kareem, did they ever take rest days? No.
It's
Wait a
different
second.
time now.
Michael Jordan played all 82 games 9 times, and he played 80 games 2 more times. Rest? What rest? I'm sorry. It's just shameful.
I agree.
And this organization went along with it because he now runs the whole show.
Well, Skip, here's the thing, is that when you make a trade like that with no assurances that he's going to re-sign with you, you acquiesce, you give in to demands because you know what he represents. This is why. You see a guy that averaged 35 and 10 in the playoffs. You see a guy that had career highs in points, rebounds, and second highest total in assists. So you're willing to make sacrifices.
All right. So what happened yesterday? And again, it's a big game, home game 7. They have fallen short many times in this type of game. Number 2 took 39 shots. You think Greg Popovich would have sat still for 39 shots? Nope.
He would have.
The most, nope, he would not
Skip,
have. The most he ever took in San Antonio in his entire career was 30 shots. So that's 9 shots short of how many he shot yesterday. He missed 24 shots. You think Greg Popovich would have sat still for that?
But hold on.
Sorry.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. He's not going to need to take that many shots if he's playing with Duncan, if he's playing with Parker, if he's playing with Ginobili. He's playing with Siakam. He's playing with Marc Gasol, Kyle Lowry,
They were
Danny
favored.
Green.
They were favored to win the series.
Oh, and they
favored by 7.5 yesterday.
And they won.
Barely.
And did you see? I mean, think about this, Skip. Look at these shot totals: 39, 11, 8, 3, 13, 5, 10. So who's gonna shoot the ball?
Do you know how fortunate number 2 was that Joel Embiid had the West Nile virus or the knee flu or whatever he had for about 4 of those games? so fortunate because Joel Embiid was the best player on the court when it was time, when he felt like it.
He wasn't the best. Joel Embiid, Skip, I love Joel Embiid. But Joel Embiid was not the best player in this series.
I saw it twice when he was.
Hold on. Even if you take that 33-10 game that he had, or 38-60, whatever the game it was, it wasn't better than Kawhi's first game. It wasn't better than Kawhi's game 5. It wasn't better than Kawhi's this final game.
Yep. Well, all I know is he was very fortunate that way, and then he hit the luckiest shot in the history of playoff games. So he, quote-unquote, won. Way to go. And it couldn't happen to a worse guy. And I tweeted this.
A better guy. Stop saying worse.
I tweeted this going to the fourth quarter, and this is the God's truth. I tweeted, if you're a Spurs fan and you're rooting for Toronto's number 2, then you're not really a Spurs fan. That's the bottom line.
No, Skip, stop it.
Yep.
Harsh.
Sorry.
Harsh stuff.
Period. End of story.
Who's the master?
I feel like you guys could talk about Kawhi all day, but let's get Steven Jackson's thought. Was that shot last night all luck? You just brought up that word again. Let's talk about it next.
No mercy.
All right, let's go back to Kawhi Leonard's buzzer beater last night, which was one of the biggest shots in NBA playoff history. Kawhi finished with 41 points. The Raptors are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, we're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Good to have you with us.
Glad to be back.
So, wisdom on this table.
Let's just see about that. I'm going to start with you. What percentage of that shot was luck, and what percentage was skill?
It's hard to put a percentage on that. It's just I have to go half and half, 51, 49, 41. You know, I don't know. But at the end of the day, when you give yourself a chance to get the ball up and get it high enough to give yourself get the ball opportunity to go in, that's skill. But the roll around, that's all luck. You can't you can't say you're gonna shoot the ball and it's gonna roll around 4 times and go in. That's completely luck. But what he did do, if you listen to his press conference, he understood that he had to give himself a chance by getting the shot up and getting rotation. One thing I know about shots at the end of the game, you might not be 100% sure that they're going to go in, but if you get a good rotation on that ball and get it up high enough and keep that follow through, you got a good chance of making that shot.
Well, what are you laughing at? You said 100% skill.
No, I said it was 100% skill. I said the shot. Now, the carom, the bounce might have been luck.
Right.
Now, Skip, if he had attempted, hold on, 81, that was Moses Malone. 86. You remember with 86 when Ralph Sampson, they beat the Lakers, Skip? They threw the ball there and he just turned around and shot it? That's luck. You don't practice that. But Kawhi Leonard practices falling out of bounds to his right, falling out of bounds to his left. And he practices having to put different arcs on the ball in order to get it up, because you don't practice. You're not going to have a 7-footer, hey, man, come here, check this out. I want to practice these shots. And you have a 7-footer running at you. But what you do is that you practice getting enough arc on the ball to get it up so if a 7-footer were to run at you and have a hand up. I believe the shot, because he practiced this, is 100% skill. The bounce, the carom, yeah, he got a lucky bounce. Right. He got a lucky carom.
Then it's a lucky shot.
No!
Yes!
Luck. I'm gonna make sure I'm saying this right. The wherewithal. He had enough focus and enough poise, and this is what I saw on the shot. The last dribble with the 1-2, a lot of guys don't think enough or are calm enough at the end of the game to take that 1-2 on that shot, to be on balance. Kawhi took that last dribble and took the 1-2 like a normal shot. Gave himself a chance to make that shot. He really gave himself a good chance to make that shot.
So I'm going to disqualify both of you because you know and like that guy, and you love him because I don't. It's as simple as that.
No, you're out. Okay.
I've been covering this game since the middle 1970s when I covered the Lakers here in Los Angeles pre-Magic Johnson. I have never heard of anybody practicing a shot where he falls out of bounds with a 7'2" guy leaping at him. You just don't do it.
Right.
By definition, number 2 in Toronto is a line drive shooter. That's the way he shoots it. That's the way he practices it. His shots are flat. I don't love it, and I didn't love it when he played for the Spurs, but when he gets in a groove, as you know, when he gets going with that big claw hand, he starts stroking it like that. He can line drive them home just because he has good feel for his shot.
And that's why a lot of his shots, Skip, hit the front of the rim because it is a line drive.
So in this case, he was not anticipating the switch of Embiid onto him because I thought Ben Simmons would run with him to the corner.
I thought he would,
Ben
too.
Simmons is fast, man. Some people think he's the fastest player in the league
He quit on the
with
play.
the ball in his hand. And he sort of gave up and let Joel go across, and then Joel came to a jump stop and had to kind of regather himself and jump again. But the point was he did get a hand up. That forced number 2 to shoot a rainbow arc shot.
Elevated.
Yeah, that he never shoots. That it's not characteristic of his delivery of the basketball. And not only that, but he did, you said he was trying to recalculate because he left his last one short. He left this one short. It drew hard near rim. It hit iron hard on the, and when he first hit it, again, I had a bet with him on the game, and he'd give me 4 points, so I needed somebody.
You swindled me out of 4 points.
I needed somebody to make a last-second shot. Obviously, I'd rather him not. But if he does, I'm going to win the bet because what I didn't want to have happen is go to overtime because in overtime it could go crazy and I'd lose my 4 points, you know, where Toronto would win by 5 or 6, which they probably would have done.
They wouldn't out of.
I don't know. But the point was when this hit near iron, it hit it so hard, it looked like it went a little bit backward to me, to my eye. I just expected it would fall straight to the floor. I'll bet to your eyes when you saw it in live time, real time, that you thought the game that was going to overtime.
I still didn't realize it had gone in until everybody started standing up.
I couldn't even understand what had happened.
Yeah, because I'm like, because it bounced. I was like, well, okay, and then it bounced.
Because somehow it had some kind of weird forward spin on it where it hit hard, it goes up and it looks like it's going a little backward and it's going to fall on the floor, but it somehow comes down and catches the near iron again. And it hit softly enough that it caromed across the basket and hit the far rim once, twice, and then it was just dying. It lost all its momentum, and it could have fallen either way. It could have fallen far or near, and it fell near and it went in. And everybody on the court was like, what? What just happened? Okay, that's the luckiest shot in the history of the NBA playoffs.
But see, you make,
with those stakes.
But see, here's the thing that where you're going to lose the argument because you said he normally shoots the ball line drive. Well, if he had shot it line drive, it'd have hit the front of the rim. He knew enough.
Well, maybe not if he had an open shot.
No, but he knew. Now I got to shoot with arc. I got to shoot with trajectory to get it up over Ben Simmons.
Well, but he had no choice.
But the rotation.
I mean, it wasn't like I'm going to decide to shoot with arc. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh my God, I got to let."
Stacks, you know what? How about this? Here we go. Stacks. When you practice and you practice game with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You practice from different angles. You practice different shots.
Well, you start that as a kid playing on a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, falling away. You try to practice that as a kid, so it's natural.
From the corner, you're not trying to hit the rim 4 times.
No, definitely not. Definitely not trying to do that.
But hold on. You practicing the shot, not the carom. You practicing the shot.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're doing it by yourself, and you're shooting it the way you shoot it. You shoot with arc. You are a natural arc shooter all along, so you're going to shoot it pure every time.
Right.
Right?
But guys that give themselves a chance put great rotation on it. They don't do it on purpose all the time, but guys like Steph, guys that Clay, every shot they shoot, the ball is spinning. The rotation looks great. On that shot, for some reason, he had it spinning. He had good rotation on that shot. He had no clue. Nobody had no clue that shot was going in.
Thank you.
Nobody.
Thank you. Lucky.
Hold on.
Hey, look. If you're shooting it straight on or from the wings, you get lucky bounces off the backboard. The backboard can be your friend. And sometimes you just yank it so badly it accidentally banks in when you're not calling back, right?
Right.
But in this case, you don't even have the luck of the backboard because the backboard's out of play.
But Stacks, but you know a lot of times when you go into your right, you fall to your right and you shoot the ball, you hit the corner of the backboard.
Yeah.
So for him
I'll give you that.
To get that kind of loft over a 7-2 and not hit the corner of the backboard, to have the rotational spin on the ball, to like.
But he rainbow arced it so high that the backboard was no longer in play.
Yeah, layup.
Okay, it's just way over the backboard, right?
That 1-2 on right before the shot, that really gave him enough balance and enough strength to get up and get that shot up. That last 1-2, a lot of guys don't think that well at the end of a game when seconds run off the clock to focus and get your feet together. He really took his time and took a good shot.
Okay, if you want to see a really good shot, the greatest clutch shot
I
ever,
want to see it.
Let's see what happened when Ray Allen took it from the corner. Can we see it? Because this is pure. This is the opposite of the luckiest shot ever. Is the greatest clutch shot ever.
I'm not
LeBron, of course, missed.
I'm not a Ray Allen fan.
You're not?
No.
Now, see, that's nothing but net, man.
But see, hold on.
Look at that. Now, that's how you shoot the corner
Stack,
three.
you see how
Is that not sweet?
Stack, you see how he equates?
He was a good shooter.
No, the ball went in pure, so it's a great shot. This one, carom, so it's a lucky shot.
Carom 4 times.
But here's the thing. Both guys have practiced those shots. You think Ray Allen practiced with a guy running at him to get his hand up in his face? No, he practiced in the gym alone to get that shot up.
With somebody rebounding for him, kicking him the ball, where he would run back to the corner and catch it on the fly and go straight up and shoot it.
I'm talking about the guy getting the hand up in his face. Did he do that?
No.
Because you said Kawhi didn't practice with a 7-2 running at him.
Well, he wouldn't.
That's my point.
Okay, he just wouldn't.
You practice the shot.
Okay.
That's all you do. You practice the shot. And no, the carom, the bounce, the boom, the boom, the boom, in, that's luck.
That's the basketball
But that
guard.
shot, 100% pure.
You called it 100% skill. It's no skill.
Hey, look at
it's pure luck. It's pure
Look
luck.
how I got it.
The claw.
Look at the hand.
He didn't
That's
hold
Jordan
the
Nash.
post.
That's Jordan Nash.
That's a freeze frame.
That's Jordan Nash. I don't
He's
know about
falling backwards. He's going to
Hey.
watch it from a crouch.
Thank you for showing us.
He's going to. He watched it from a crouch. He held the crouch pose.
I like that he left it all out there, though.
Hey,
I like that.
Ooh, that hurt.
He left
Skip,
it all
that
out
hurt.
there.
Skip, I know that hurt. Skip, I can imagine.
It won me a case of Diet Dew.
No.
I'm up 34 cases.
Oh, but here's the thing.
That's how you go out, though. Game 7, that's how you go
With a
out.
buzzer beater.
Time out. Why do you not like Ray Allen?
I'm just not a Ray Allen fan. I played against Ray Allen. I had some good games against him. So who people like and who are fans of, I played against these guys. I destroyed some of these guys, so I'm not a fan.
Man, Ray wasn't no defensive guy, Scott.
I'm just saying, the guys that people fans of, I played against them, so I'm not fans of them.
Did he give you them numbers?
He had some good games.
Yeah, he gave you
I
them
gave him numbers too,
Okay,
though.
but
Wait.
I gave him numbers too.
But you a defensive guy.
Did he ever insult you on the court?
No.
Okay,
I'm just not a
there's
fan
no
of him.
personal
No.
action.
All basketball players not cool. Newsflash.
Good to know.
But that shot right there, look at that hand. Skip, look at that hand. Yeah. That's a Jordan Ness. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get that picture.
That's New
and I'm
Balance.
gonna have
You can't say Jordan Ness no more. You gotta say New Balance.
That's that old New Balance.
He's falling backwards.
Please don't. You
Look at that, Skip, man. That's the
we
news.
already saw this a couple times already.
I'm gonna get you a pair of Skip, but I'm gonna get that picture. I'm gonna have him to sign it to my good friend Skip.
Yeah.
I'll take a pair. I don't think Skip wants a
Yeah,
pair.
Skip, you got
but,
Skip.
He has to sign a number 2, though. He can't sign his name. He gotta sign number 2.
To my good friend Skip.
We gotta move on. Will James Harden ever win a championship in Houston? I want to hear what Steven has to think about this guy. We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
The Rockets season is over after being eliminated again by the Warriors. Mike D'Antoni's Rocket teams have won at least 50 games in each of his 3 seasons there, but they haven't gone to the finals. James Harden dropped 35, but this is now the 4th time in 5 seasons that his Rockets have been eliminated by Golden State. Despite that, a championship with Harden is still in the cards, according to Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta. Take a listen.
This was not fun, and I guarantee you, James and Chris and our team is very upset right now. They kicked our ass in our home court. They beat us by 10 points in the 4th quarter. It's unacceptable, okay? We just have to be better, and I know that we're going to rise to the occasion, and our time's going to come. You know, James is 30 years old. Michael didn't win his first championship till 30. Hakeem didn't win his first championship till 30. I can promise you we're going to win some championships with James Harden, okay? Because we are not going to sit here. We will go to battle every year. We're going to have a strong off season, and we're going to do whatever we can do to be a better team, okay? We are not going to sit on our hands. I can promise you that.
Whew, okay. He had plenty to say. Steven Jackson's still here. Steven, can Houston ever win a title with this system?
No. He's saying the right thing, but I'm glad he didn't say we're going to win a title with James and D'Antoni. D'Antoni ain't going to get it done.
Wow.
The problem is not offense. You have one of the best scorers in NBA history. He's going to score in any system. I think if you put a offense and system instead of the ISO game around James, have him coming off a couple screens where he can get into the flow of a game instead of just dribbling the clock out, playing in the system, and giving him a coach that can coach defense, that knows how to coach defense. D'Antoni's not a defensive coach. They might win with James, but not with D'Antoni at the helms.
No, they're not winning no title with James Harden and Mike D'Antoni. Skip that style. The ISO ball, it looks good.
It looks
good.
good.
James Harden getting his 60, had like 3 or 4 60-point game. These high 50s, Skip, and you and I, we come in here for like 4 or 5. I've never seen anything like this, Skip.
Yeah,
Well,
we talked
we
about
have.
it.
I've never seen it.
The effort.
Have you ever seen
Never,
it like it?
never.
The effort, the ease at which he can score the basketball, the step-back threes. But come playoff time, he's in one spot. He's at the top of the key. He's dribbling, and everybody's eyes are on him. And he turned. Now, look, he played about as well as he could play. I mean, he's not the most efficient. He shot 44% from the field in the regular season, same in the playoffs. He was about, 38% from the three-point line, same thing. But these turnovers, and what hurt them was their inability to get stops. They couldn't stop Golden State from scoring.
Just for the record, they brought Jeff Bzdelik back from his retirement. They talked him back onto the bench, and he was supposed to be the defensive wizard coordinator, right?
What he was supposed to bring, he left that on vacation.
Okay.
He forgot his, sometimes you get to go on vacation and you forgot, dang, forgot the sunscreen. Dang, I forgot well, he forgot that defensive game plan. Skip, this is unacceptable. This is the third year, a game 6 on your home court, you taking the L. And Skip Bayless told me this. This is what Skip told me. Skip told me, said Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA.
No question.
How in the hell can Golden State win a game without the best player in the NBA? James Harden, you allowed that to happen on your watch?
Right.
That's on your watch, James Harden. So, no, I'm sorry. Chris Paul, how is Chris Paul going to look in another year, 2 years? Because you got some more years on that contract, Skip. Clint Capella is proven he's a nice little role player here or there. He ain't nearly worth $20 million. So you got 2 guys, good luck with them moving forward.
All I know is that James Harden is on the regular season Mount Rushmore, not on the postseason.
No.
And I will give you that this game Friday night degenerated into dribble versus pass because the Warriors were forced back into the 73-9 mode of just sharing the basketball like crazy. And it was beautiful to watch. But you have in combo the 2 greatest shooters in the history of the league on one team. They just are. Look at their Steph from 3 for his career is 44%. Clay from 3 for his career is 42%. You can appreciate that.
Oh, yeah,
that's ridiculous. With the amount of threes that they shoot.
It's ridiculous. So James is 37% for his career, and that's what he shot this year. But push comes to shove in a playoff game, if you're just jacking threes, who do you think's going to make more? Those 2 or that one guy?
No question.
That's what happens. And in the end, to me, it's not even about the system. It's about the man running the system. And if you want to throw D'Antoni into this, you can, because he didn't have much to show for his career, right?
He had 2-time MVP, and Steve Nash had Amari Stoudemire, who was All-NBA. Skip, we've seen it at different locations. It's the same result.
But it's always pretty good. It's almost real good, right? But it's never really over the hump good, right?
Never enough.
So this guy, James Harden, is just not made of tough stuff. Whatever the stuff, guys you played with, Tim Duncan has, whatever fire in his belly he has, I just don't see it in James. And when it's really time, when you are on the line, when you are going to either be revealed to have great playoff character or exposed to have none, he keeps getting exposed in every big game 6 or 7. Just exposed. It's a litany of games. And again, this game on Friday night, it got tied. It got stuck on 97 all. At 6:31, it went all the way to 3:42, tied at 97. This is on your home floor. This is you, man. You got to do this. So could we just show a couple of these lowlights? 5:06 left. James misses a layup, and it's just, you called it earlier, it's just a gag. It's just like, could we see the layup missed? He drives it in. Look at that. How did he miss that?
He touched the rim, Stack.
Come on.
Look at this.
Okay, it's 97 all at that
Fatigue.
point. Okay, is it fatigue? Is it mental fatigue? I don't know. Then he misses a wide open 3 at 2:55. And he pulled his step back off, and the Warriors got confused, and they kind of ran into each other. And he just gets a wide open step back. You got to make that, man. And he almost airballs it. Okay, that's a big shot at that point. And then can we see the offensive foul on Draymond? It's just so bad. It's such a bad look. This is it. This is 112.
Okay, Tim, so why did you do that?
224.
He tired, okay, what? I mean.
That's mental. That's all mental. Frustration, mental frustration.
Okay. Remember, that's 2:24 to go, and they're down 2.
Mm-hmm.
Down 2. You can't do that.
Okay, well, help me answer this. You got a guy that's not playing that's averaging 35 points in the playoffs. How in the hell you get 118 points?
Right. And how you don't have a killer mentality? Kawhi Leonard, that's how you go out Game 7. When your season's almost about to be an end, you go out like Kawhi Leonard. You don't go out like James at the end of the game. I didn't see the same drive. I didn't see the same passion that he has in the first 3 quarters. I didn't see that at all.
I know what you did see. Here's a guy that shot 88% from the free throw line, missed 5 of them, shot 58% in that game.
True.
That ain't fatigue. That's that pressure.
That's pressure too, what I'm saying. And those same shots you can make in the first 3 quarters, Skip, a lot of guys can't make in the fourth quarter. But all those threes from Clay and Steph, it just kept killing them. It was like a gut punch every time.
Okay, Steph got in foul trouble. Steph missed like 7-8 minutes of the first half because he picked up 3 quick fouls. The only guy that can gut you now is who? Clay.
Yep.
Because you've seen Clay go nuclear and go get 60 points in 29 minutes. I'm trapping him.
Yep.
Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, anybody else, if y'all go for 20, so be it. I'm not going to let him catch fire. Right. And then when Steph comes back, now, because the difference is that when these guys play with no KD, they don't have to worry. If Clay shoots 3 times and Steph shoots 4 times, they don't have to worry. Is KD upset he hadn't shot yet? Who gonna get mad if they shooting the ball? Because nobody else can shoot it but them. So they come out ultra aggressive. You let Steph get 33 in the second half? And a guy that doesn't try to go one-on-one. He ain't got no post game. If that's KD, that's LeBron, one of these guys that can play with his back to the basket, okay, you know what Steph is, and you let him go get 33.
That's cooking, and 30 and a half, that's cooking.
It's really cooking.
I've done that before.
So the owner says...
Not against me.
Against the Mavericks, I did, though.
You got 30
and a half.
In the playoffs game?
No, in the regular season.
Okay.
No, regular season.
Not against me, you wouldn't.
Okay.
Probably 40.
So the owner says we're going to keep reshuffling that deck.
What?
But the guy in the middle of the deck is still James Harden, right? Now, Chris Paul's an aging player to me. I saw some signs of age. He played well on
He got
Friday
3
night.
years at $120 million left. Okay, good luck moving that.
Okay, so you're going to mix and match around.
Okay,
James
Clint
Harden.
Capella got 4 years at $80 million. Good luck moving that.
Okay. But in the end, you're going to get to this moment. Sometime next playoffs, there's going to be a Game 6 or a Game 7, and this is going to happen again. James Harden is going to disappear on you. Okay?
I mean,
Good luck.
James Harden.
I know they sitting there. Trevor Ariza. Where are you, Trevor? Where are you, Trevor Ariza?
Yep.
5 free throws from a guy that shot 88% in the regular season. He shot 58 in this game. You saw it early on. He knows the magnitude of this moment. This is Game 6 in my building. You remember 2 years ago, Game 6? No Kawhi, lose by 39. Remember last year, we got them on the ropes. All we got to do is, in our building, we win, they going home. Gag that one. This one, what he do? Goofball this one up. At some point in time,
Great players force a Game 7.
So that's the mentality.
First of all,
That's the mentality.
First of
like
all,
you say, you see how Kawhi shot 30-something times last night? Is either go out like this or don't even show up.
39 times.
39 times.
Missed 24.
Going out, give yourself a
He didn't
chance.
care.
Give yourself a chance.
hold on. Great players? Great players that is over in Game 6. Because once KD left the building, James Harden's supposed to take that game over and whip them.
Exactly.
So great players, that's what a great player would have done.
That's what I'm saying.
So we don't need a Game 7.
Right.
Game 6 is over.
And then our man CP3 helped relight the fire under Steph going into Friday night because Thursday night Steph scheduled a 1 hour solo shooting at the
Beginning of the game.
in his building.
Yeah.
And Chris Paul said, no, I'm going to show up and take your out.
Hold on, so what the hell? Chris Paul had a birthday party at the building? Why you care what that man doing? Man, stop being petty like that.
It's called doing too much, and you see where that gets you.
Yeah.
You ever heard that before?
Never heard that before.
I haven't
Really?
either.
Never heard
Man,
that
I wish I would. Oh, man, I hear Ben Coates or Jay Novacek, they down at the Bronco Stadium, man. They got the lights on, they running routes. Okay, and?
Reggie Miller did it. Reggie Miller did it in every arena on the road.
Okay.
He went early and got shot, so I never heard of it. Reggie
Somebody
Miller did it all
saying
the
you
time.
can't come into our building. I'm going to take your hour.
Yeah.
Like,
Guess what?
You see how that worked out for you?
Yeah,
You know what? Guess what? I'd have kept shooting. I said, put me off.
You realize most of the Saturday walkthroughs when they
In
get
the morning.
there, but they come to your stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of teams
Yeah.
go to your stadium in the NFL the day.
Oh,
before.
okay, and? But I tell you what, put me off. That's what I told Chris Paul. Put me off.
I can make shots anyway. It don't matter.
No, I ain't gonna make no shots because I scheduled this time. I'm gonna be right here. Unless you got a birthday party, and guess what? The ball might hit your cake, but I ain't going nowhere. See, you know what this is? They look at Steph, they look at that light skin, they push him around.
They think he's sweet.
Yeah.
They think he's sweet.
I would.
Nah.
He was sweet in another way the other
Oh,
day.
yeah, exactly.
I said, man, I wish.
His game was sweet.
And Clay.
Behind the back, crossover, 3.
Boom.
Yeah. getting
And before the ball was in, he was halfway down court.
Just getting buckets.
Yes.
And Tuck fouled him on that one, too. That should have been a 4-point play.
I agree with that.
Tuck, should have been a 4-point play.
Yep.
All right, Steven, good stuff. Thank you
Glad to
for
be here.
being here. Should LeBron be upset with the Lakers' coaching moves? We'll discuss that with Chris Haynes. A lot to get to next.
No mercy.
The Lakers struck out on Ty Lue and Monty Williams, but Frank Vogel is reportedly their new head coach after agreeing to a 3-year deal over the weekend. Reports also say Jason Kidd will be on a, quote, prominent assistant coach who will be there to mentor Lonzo Ball. Vogel was most recently the Magic head coach in 2017 and 18 before being fired, and he spent 5 seasons in Indiana and lost in the conference finals twice to LeBron and the Heat. We're joined by Yahoo Sports senior NBA writer Chris Haynes. Chris, good to have you back with us.
Thank you.
Good morning. Chris, should LeBron be happy with this? Where's he at?
Look, I think, first of all, I think he's just happy to have a coach in place. That was a debacle, how the coaching search played out. It was a clear mockery. It wasn't handled correctly. It was poor. But at the end of the day, Frank Vogel, you can make a case he was, the 4th or 5th option. When they were going after Ty Lue and Monty Williams, they wanted him to be one of their assistants. So essentially they're hiring somebody who they view as an assistant coach for most of the process. But with all that being said, Vogel is somebody who does hold teams and players accountable. There's structure, there's discipline. And so for a young roster like the Los Angeles Lakers, that is going to be necessary for him to implement. And I think when it's all said and done, I think LeBron respects his work. Indiana pushed them to the brinks a few times when he was there in Cleveland. So I think he respects him from that regard. But at the end of the day, the Lakers got their 4th or 5th guy. And we still don't know what's going to happen as far as the future with the rest of the roster. But all things being said, solid hire. Now, we'll see how the rest plays out.
How solid was the hire of Jason Kidd to be the number 1 assistant?
Now that's something where the Lakers were trying to influence the assistant coaching staff pool. So whoever they talked to, whether it was Ty Lue, whether it was Monty Williams, they wanted to have input on who filled that staff. Coaches, especially coaches who have a history, a successful track record, they don't like to be told that somebody's coming on.
Right.
So this situation right here, bringing on Jason Kidd, look, I like Jason Kidd on staff strictly because we're talking about development. And that's one thing that the Lakers had an issue with Luke Walton's staff. When you talk about development, look no further than what he did with Giannis Antetokounmpo over there. So you feel like he can do the same thing or try to help the growth of progression of Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. With that being said,
I just hired him as the head coach.
I hear you right there. Isn't
that weird?
But hey, we're talking about how this process folded out. It's dysfunction. So don't let the dysfunction stop there. They kept it going. And so this is a case where Vogel has to be. I like how you got that. I like how y'all got that set up right there because it might be a position where Kidd does walk in front of Vogel and take over the reins.
You never know.
It can't be a good situation, but there's only a few of these jobs in the NBA.
Right.
You got to take them. It's the Lakers, it's a storied franchise. If he wins, he gets praise. If not, I think you'll see a situation where that picture does take place.
But in Lakers, you can't win because it's about championship. Sure, can he win games? He won in Indiana. He was a flop in Orlando, and you see what happened. They won 25 games. He leaves. The guy comes in. They make it to the playoffs with plus 17. They win 42 games. So winning is not going to be good enough. It just goes to show you the dysfunctionality that's going on with the Lakers organization. I am a firm believer when you put people in place that's unqualified for the position that they hold, this is what you get. You can't tell me that LeBron is like, man, we got Frank Vogel. We in the money now. What? Is that what LeBron is saying? I was just on Instagram. He had to walk. He said just him and his alone in his thoughts. He walking this morning, Skip.
Well, you just hang on.
I'm just like, that's what's going on with LeBron.
Making it up.
If I had known better, he might got probably got one of them balls in the hand like this. They're just walking down the road.
And ain't no water, huh?
Yeah, ain't no water. He probably got that.
So do you get an alert when he posts?
I'm just saying. I was just happen to be. I was looking for something.
Just
but anyway.
happened to be looking at LeBron.
No, wait, no, Skip, look.
Every commercial does a quick check.
You and I don't agree on much, but we do agree on this situation here. This has been a debacle for LeBron. LeBron didn't sign up for this.
He did
And
not.
I just believe that Kurt Rambis, let that sink in. Somebody call it, and they got to talk to Kurt. Kurt Rambis.
He is the new Magic Johnson.
Ain't nobody call
No
him-
doubt about that.
Nobody want to talk to
He
you.
is the new, they're calling him the shadow president. He's just the president.
He's the president.
It's right out there for everybody to
And
see.
it's so, you know what, Skip? And it's so bad that they won't make, because they know it's some bull jive.
Yeah.
So we can't announce it publicly.
Yeah.
We just let y'all speculate. It is what it is, but y'all don't really know definitively. So this is how we gonna let it play out. Man, this thing is a mess.
So if I had suddenly turned on my computer and saw, oh, the Lakers hired Jason Kidd to be the head coach and Frank Vogel to be the first assistant, I'd say, okay,
Yes.
I'll go
Probably
with that.
so,
I
yes.
can roll with that.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure that Jay Kidd and LeBron would be just a perfect fit because, listen, Jason Kidd, he is his own man. He takes nothing off nobody. And I know you say Vogel holds players accountable. Frank Vogel played small college basketball. They're not going to respect him as a guy who has done all of this. Yeah. Jason Kidd did it all.
Jason Kidd is Hall of Fame.
He's a Hall of Famer. He played it the right way. He played hard. He dived for every loose ball.
Yes.
And he had the gift of passing the basketball. He played very physically on the defensive end, and he teaches very physical defense. That's what the Milwaukee teams were known for.
Right.
So would he start turning up the heat on LeBron a little bit on the defensive end? A little bit. Maybe it'd be a good thing. Maybe he'd kind of rekindle a little fire. But I thought he should be the head coach and Frank Vogel should be the first assistant because there's no way Frank Vogel would have hired Jason Kidd to be his number one assistant. It's like you're hiring your own death sentence,
right.
You know, like because everybody's just going to wait for Frank Vogel at the first sign of failure. Well, just let Jason do it.
Let me ask you a question. Your brother's the executive chef.
Yeah.
This company comes in and say, we want you. What's your brother's name?
Rick.
He's
He's the owner.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. But I'm saying before he became owner.
Yeah, don't demote him. Son.
No, he was an executive chef. In one of these big companies.
He really wasn't. He was the owner from the start. But go ahead. Well, he just was. I just know.
He had to start somewhere.
He started from nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I get your analogy.
Started on top.
He didn't ever work for anybody.
Okay. There's this executive chef who worked for this company.
Not Rick.
And the company says, okay, you're in charge of everything, but we want you to hire Jenny as the sous chef.
Yeah.
And we want you to hire this one as the headline cook. He's like, wait a minute. You just hired me to do my job. Let me do my job. You just hired Frank Vogel, and then you say, well, this guy's going on your staff, that guy's going on your staff. How does that work?
Doesn't normally work that way.
Where do they do that at, Skip?
Because Frank Vogel's going to crawl for the job. Whatever the conditions are, I'll do it.
Because he just saw Monty Williams get 5 years. He just saw Luke Walton get 5 years.
Yep.
And then somebody turn around in the same profession and you get 3 and you're like, okay.
Okay, I'll take it. It's the Lakers.
And then it's Ty Lue, who has the ties to LeBron James, won a championship with Cleveland. I think he deserves a 5-year deal.
If Luke Walton can get a 5-year deal, if Monty Williams, Steve Clifford just got a year before, he signed 5 years with Orlando.
Yep.
He got a 5 years after that resume from Charlotte.
But
and you mean to tell me Ty Lue with 3 finals appearances with a championship on his resume, and all you give him is 3 years?
Yep.
It's power versus control.
Kurt Rambis' chief advisor from on high is Phil Jackson. They're very close, and I'm sure they talk almost every day.
Right.
Kurt Rambis and Phil Jackson want to be able to control a virtual puppet coach who is Frank Vogel.
Correct.
Frank Vogel will do whatever they ask him to do or try. He'll try to implement whatever strategies, whatever offense, whatever defense Phil and Kurt tell him to implement.
The best thing that ever happened to Steve Kerr is that he turned Phil Jackson down to be the head coach of the
Yeah, that's true.
That was the
Saved
best.
him.
That saved him.
Yep.
That was the best thing that ever happened. Man, you look here. I mean, can you imagine? I'm coming to work for FS1. It's like, okay, Shannon, you're going to be working with Skip, you and Skip, okay. But here's the pen you're going to use. Here's the wait a minute. I write with my own pen. I don't need you to get me no pen. I got my own. I got this old Mont Blanc. He got that old cheap big paper mate, whatever it is. They're right here, one of a kind. Write down some good stuff right here.
The only person who uses
Yeah,
that
but
kind of
I
event.
write down the right word.
No,
You write down the wrong word.
No, they misspelled. There's a whole lot of
They don't
I
write
look at
for
that.
you.
There's a whole lot of misspelling going on over there.
I think there's no misspelling.
This old Mont Blanc, this
Yeah.
thing got autocorrect in it.
Autocorrect.
I'll start to spell a word wrong. It correct.
move your hand,
Yeah,
huh?
it'll back me up. It'll back me up and spell it out correctly.
In that case,
Yeah.
get one.
Yeah.
By the way, I got to defend my brother one last time.
What'd he
I'll
do?
hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
He's won the James Beard Award twice. It's the award for chefs, and he's won it twice as restaurant owner. So
Yeah.
you got to understand,
Big
you're
deal.
barking up the wrong tree.
Skip.
And I don't even care about this, but he will.
No, what I was trying to make an
Okay,
analogy
I
is
got
like
it.
when you're an
I got
executive
it.
chef
Okay.
and they hire
got
you
it.
and they tell you got to hire this person as your sous chef,
Okay.
this one as your head. I'm not trying to make.
Okay.
Yeah, but he can't cook that hood food like O'Shea.
I don't know.
Yeah, he can't cook no hood. He cooking that old foo stuff.
No.
This stuff.
That
You
bougie
can
stuff.
cook that Mexican food.
Hey,
I know. I want to try.
hey, you come over to Shea house, you think people snapping their finger? That's lip flop. You think somebody
loud.
snapping their yeah, jit, man, please.
How did we transition into
You
the
cook that?
restaurant world?
Make a jackrabbit slap a German Shepherd to get a mile of my food.
Really?
Pap!
You cook a jackrabbit, or is that what you're saying? No.
I have eaten. That's you trying to get Peter. You trying to get Peter to come down on me? No, I don't need. I don't cook. I don't know nothing about no
We
rabbit.
definitely do not need that. We
You
don't
trying to
need
get Peter to come down? You think he's slick? Nope. I don't eat rabbit anymore.
Anymore.
Yeah, anything else to say over there?
No, I ain't got
About
nothing
the
to
rest
say,
of the world,
Jeff.
we're good. We're good. Okay.
Leave Bugs Bunny alone.
Should we move on to Kawhi Leonard?
Yes.
Shall we? Does he deserve an A+ for his performance last night? We'll discuss.
No mercy.
Well, Kawhi Leonard is the story of the day after his buzzer beater last night. Chris Haynes is still with us. Chris, how would you grade Kawhi's game?
Well, before I say that, I got a text from a childhood friend, Aaron Haynes. He told me to tell Skip, quit hating on Kawhi. Give him his props.
Yeah,
Give him
quit
his
hating.
props.
On who?
On Kawhi Leonard. One of the
Oh,
best.
you mean number two?
Oh, he could be the number two best player in the game.
I don't know if I can even call
Oh, that's
him
fine. Number two
anymore.
best player in the game. That's nothing to
Your
sneeze
childhood
at.
friend is named the same as you.
Say his name, last name.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
no
not
relation.
related.
No relation. Yeah,
I don't even know. Okay.
it is.
How'd you grade his
Skip,
performance?
he sent a text to himself.
Just so I can say that.
So, yeah.
Hey, well, let me say this. You have to give it an A. I'm giving it an A. Look, are we talking about the performance or just that shot?
Performance.
whole thing.
Performance, you got to give him an A. Look, this was game 7. He went out swinging. It was Kobe-esque. And I say Kobe-esque because, you know, Kobe's a gunslinger. Michael Jordan's a little bit more efficient with the field goal percentage. But look, he let it be known that we're going to lose because of me or we're going to win because of me. But I'm going to take the onus. And then we talk about that shot. We can say if it was luck or not. We can talk about all that. But the point is, he got a quality shot up against a 7-footer. You know how hard it is to do that, Skip? Skip, you can't get a shot up over me right now. So imagine if it was
I
Joe.
could get a whole bunch of shots.
Oh,
You want to go play
okay,
right now?
hey,
I'll
Skip,
go right now.
You better go YouTube. You better go YouTube video highlight clips of Chris
All right,
Haynes.
okay.
Before I was doing
I
all
think
this,
one
Skip,
of us is in
I was
shape
doing
and
that.
one of us doesn't look very.
Don't let the clothes fool you. You're bigger on TV.
right.
You look bigger on TV.
Yeah.
Don't let that fool you. But I'm gonna give it an A. You know, for what he did, and we could talk about if he's number 2 or not. Look, you have to make a case that he's arguably number 2 in the entire league as far as all-around game. So what he
Well,
did,
he's number 1 all around.
He's number 1 all around.
The two-way player and
Two-way
Skip.
player?
Any best two-way player in the game. Skip, say it one time with me.
Say it.
I used to say it all the time. And you used to laugh at me, right? Now you jumped on that.
No, I
bandwagon.
said he was the best two-way player. He just wasn't better than that other guy.
The guy who's not in the playoffs.
Okay, well, whatever, Skip. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I'm gonna say so. In closing, Kawhi Leonard is the real deal. You have to respect Toronto, and we can talk all about was it a good move for Toronto to let go of their franchise player, DeMar DeRozan. It was a controversial move at the beginning, but I think you look at it, and the fruits are bearing its results.
Yeah.
And right now, who's favorite? They got Toronto favorite or Milwaukee? Is that line yet?
Doubt it.
I don't
Milwaukee,
think so.
Milwaukee
Yeah.
favorite?
Definitely.
it's
I think
Milwaukee.
by a lot.
You can't sleep on Toronto.
I gave him an A also. In a situation like this, forget the shot. When we talk about the shot, we talk about that. We've talked about the shot, Skip, ad nauseum. But 15 points.
It did make me sick.
I bet it did make you sick. But he had 15 points in the fourth quarter. He had 15 points at the half, and then he goes out and gets 21 in the second, 11 in the third, 15 in the fourth. And he also, and see, a lot of times people look, well, he got this many shots. But look at what he had to do. Jimmy Butler was 5 of 14. Ben Simmons, again, had more turnovers than field goal attempts. That's what he did.
Ben Simmons can't shoot a lick.
That got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That's not Kawhi's problem. And if Kawhi's on him, he really can't. You can't lay the ball up either. But anyway, Kawhi played 43 minutes, playing outstanding defense, missed one free throw, which he wanted. See, that's what he wanted to talk about. See, he was hoping Kawhi missed that free throw. They tied up. Yep. They go to overtime. They lose. Yep. And then he come out here and tell you, I throw you. But Kawhi says, no, I'm going to end this right now. I'm going to do something.
Wait, did he miss a late free throw?
He did.
Oh, he did. Yeah, but that's what motivated him to make
I don't remember. All I remember is his Kevin Harlan says, "Is this the dagger?" Oh! Hey, Skip, give him an A.
Jenny, I got to get a new TV.
What do
I
you
don't know.
see?
I saw some weird game. I saw a guy miss 23 shots yesterday. 23 shots. That's a lot. Most great players don't even take 23 shots in a game.
In a game,
I saw that happen, and that's why maybe I'm the only objective person at this table right now. But I give number 2 a C+.
Oh my goodness, Skip! You gotta stop.
I'm going to give him the plus because they won. That's the only reason. And they won because he should have missed 24 shots. It was the luckiest shot in NBA playoff history. He shot it short because he had to throw it up into the sky. He's a line drive shooter who shot a rainbow arc shot over 7 feet 2 inch tall hands, and it hit hard on the near side of the rim, and it went straight up. It looked like it went a little backward, and nobody in the known world thought the ball was going to go in. Chris Haynes is watching, if he was watching, thinking that overtime. Everybody thought overtime because the ball popped straight up, and I expected it to just fall straight down and hit the basketball court. One big dribble, overtime. Let's go. Let's see who's got it in overtime. Maybe he would have had it, but he did not have it on that shot, and I have no idea how the physics work for that ball to actually nick the rim as it fell a second time and somehow caromed across the rim instead of backwards, caromed across, and it hit the far rim twice. It could have kept going and gone off the backside of the rim. No, it actually fell forward and died in the basket. And the most shocked player on the planet was the one who was crouching, watching it bounce around up there because he had no idea that ball was going to go in the basket. So the point was he should have missed 24 shots, and he did have 4 turnovers in that game, including a huge one with 3:46 left. He's inbounds passing. He just throws it right to Jimmy Butler, who's guarding him. Here, let me just lob this. Oh, no, he intercepts it and goes the other way with it. Really?
Look,
okay. No, I'm not finished. I haven't finished. I'm backing up why this is a C+. Okay. Do you realize the Toronto Raptors got up 89 shots to only 65 for the visiting team?
Yes.
How does the math work on that? How can it be tied with 4 seconds left when you got up 89 shots? It's because your gunner, your Kobe, whatever you want to call him, he missed 23 shots. So he shot them into the game, and then he shot them out of the game, which is why it was tied.
But he can't shoot them out of the game if he had to hit the game winner.
He shot them all the way back to a tie game because he went a little quiet.
But here's the thing. Here's why the argument, Skip, you're making. Siakam was 4 of 11. That's not 50%.
Okay,
Gasol was 3 of 8.
He can't even touch the basketball. He's used to shooting 20 shots a game, and he's like not in the flow.
He should not shoot 20 shots a game. Yeah. 20 shots a game are reserved for superstar players.
Well, I've seen him be a star.
I've seen, we're gonna hold on because we know what Kawhi is. And Kyle Lowry was 4 of 13. Skip, if he doesn't shoot, Van Fleet was 0 for 5.
Okay.
If he doesn't shoot the ball, who's going to shoot the ball and get the points? Where are they going? Because remember, you saw DeMar DeRozan. You saw he went out, he flamed out in San Antonio. You remember last year he got swept. That same DeMar DeRozan. And the year before they got swept.
I'll give you, number 2 is a little better than DeMar DeRozan.
A little?
Yeah, I'll give you that. DeMar DeRozan's pretty good.
That's like saying Texas is a little bit bigger than Kansas. You ought to stop playing, Skip.
Kansas is pretty big.
It is. You can beat 3 Kansas in Texas.
Do you realize a C+ is a step a slight step above below average, which is a D.
Yeah.
You look at that picture right there.
He got lucky.
Look at that. That's going to be embedded in the minds of Toronto faithful.
You realize he's falling backwards and watch the shot in a crouch sitting.
Yeah.
We all watched the shot in a crouch. I was at home.
I wasn't in a crouch.
Yes, I was. No,
I wasn't in a crouch.
You was flat on your back. You was flat on your back. You're like, please don't go in.
Eyes were shut.
I went in.
Were you
Come on,
watching it?
Skip.
You have to understand. He made a stupid bet with me. He makes a lot of
heard,
stupid
yes,
bets.
I
He
heard.
gave me 4 points.
4 points.
So I need somebody to make that shot. I don't want overtime. I need Toronto to go ahead and win by 2 or 3. I'll take 3 because I got 4.
Got 4 to
So somebody make a shot to win the game because in overtime I could have lost the bet.
But see, here's the thing, though, Chris.
Well-
He wanted someone to make that shot, just not
Just
that
not that
guy.
guy.
To
That's
make that-
that-
because, see,
right.
now he comes out here with sweepstakes. Kawhi, okay, he missed a free throw. He was going to harp on that.
Yeah.
Oh, he ain't clutch because he missed the shot. Now went to overtime and they lost.
Got that.
Or if Siakam hits that shot, I told you Siakam is the best player. You don't get that. Kawhi says, hey, but I got that picture. I got that picture coming. Kawhi's going to sign it personally to you.
Help me out. You're good with research because you have a crackerjack research about Steve Owens. What does it say on your sheet, your box score? What was the number 2 from 3-point? What was
He wasn't very good.
Oh,
He's
2 for 9.
2 and 9.
Oh, 2 for 9.
Skip.
Maybe the C+ stands
Hold
up
on,
even
hold on,
better.
Skip.
2 for
Skip.
9. You gave him an A and you gave
Skip.
him an A.
Skip. They was
He
seven-
was 2 for
they
9.
was 7
And
of-
wait a second. His 2 came when on loose ball offensive rebounds where they kicked it back out to him. He was completely unguarded on both of his 3-point
James
shots.
Harden had 2 of those and missed them.
Okay, well, he's not James Harden. Way to go. Way to go.
Skip, they were 7 of 30 as a team.
Okay.
They shot 23%. Philadelphia was 9 of 27. They shot 33%. So nobody lit it up shooting the basketball,
So
and that's why the game.
You gave an A to the guy whose team was tied with 4 seconds left inexplicably, and then he made the luckiest shot in the history of the NBA playoffs, and you give him an A.
In a game
Way to
7.
go.
Sir,
Way to
I
go.
got a question for you.
Congratulations to both of you.
Does he
I
have
wish-
more disdain towards Kawhi or LeBron? I'm trying to figure
Kawhi.
out. It's
You know what?
More than LeBron?
Yeah, I wish I'd had you guys as my professors at Vanderbilt because I might have made all A's.
All A's for you. Next
Well, I made
up,
all A's.
Oh, dude.
Game
I didn't-
one
yeah.
of the
I thought
conference
that's not what you
finals.
told me.
Wednesday night. I don't know if I believe you at all. That just feels like a stretch.
so
Wednesday
fast.
night in Milwaukee, but in the West, are the Warriors just as good without Kevin Durant? We'll discuss that now.
No mercy.
Warriors were without the injured Kevin Durant on Friday night, but in the end, it really didn't matter. Steph Curry was held scoreless in the first half, but he bounced back in the second, scoring 33 points. Klay Thompson chipped in 27, and the Warriors are advancing to their 5th straight Western Conference Finals tomorrow against Portland. Chris Haynes is still with us, but Skip, I go
Yes,
to you
ma'am.
first on this. Did the Warriors miss Kevin Durant?
I do not believe the Warriors would have won Game 5 or Game 6 unless Kevin Durant had gotten hurt. I do not wish injury upon anybody, but this was fortuitous for these Warriors under these circumstances because I remind you, Game 5 at home, they were coming apart right on schedule in the third quarter as their offense had degenerated into KD or bust. We'd seen it over and over again. They had lost 6 home games this year by 20-plus points. They had blown a 31-point lead to the Clippers. I can't remember if you were there that night. I think you were. You were there. And too often it looked clunky and awkward and completely out of sync as they looked to Kevin to save us. And for sure, Steph and Klay had lost their flow and their rhythm and their green lights, at least their psychological green lights, because it's like, well, should he be doing it or do we get to have a shot now?
Right.
And all of a sudden, he finally made a big shot to sort of stave off the Houston rally, and he came down and pushed off on his, was it right calf? Yeah, right calf.
Right.
Boom, gone. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, as Steph said, we went in the huddle and we looked at each other and we all smiled. And I think they said to themselves, gee, maybe we can now prove that he isn't our whole show. And I'm sure you've heard some quiet resentment of the fact that Kevin Durant is gone. He has not one foot out the door. He's got both feet out the door, probably heading for Madison Square Garden in New York. And it's just not great for team unity, team chemistry, but all of a sudden they got to revert to 73-9 Warriors. And in the fourth quarter, Steph and Klay said, watch this. In Game 6, in Houston on Friday night, they both said, watch this. And they put on a show of shows the way we used to. We remember how they used to do it 73-9, and that's how they did it again. Again, are they better without Kevin Durant? No. It was just in this circumstance against this arch rival that it suddenly flipped a new switch for them to say, here we go, watch this. Kevin, watch this NBA world, and the rest is Houston history.
If you don't mind me asking, you've come on this program.
Best player in the world. He's the best player.
Why would a team lose a game with the best player in the world? Why are they better off without him?
What did Draymond Green tell him?
I know what Draymond
What did he tell him?
I know what
Draymond
said.
The
but I need you to understand.
Draymond said, we won before you got here, right? Isn't that the quote? I think you had that quote, right? We won before you got here, when he called him the B word.
I'm gonna add a little.
Brother, the brother word. Brother. Yeah.
They are a great team without KD. KD makes them unbeatable. That's the difference between the two.
Okay, I'm not sure they were unbeatable at that moment in Game 5.
If they thought they could do this without KD, they're not getting their ass on a plane and going to the Hamptons. Okay. That's why they did that.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
They just blown a 3-1 lead.
Right. Okay. But when you got that guy, you don't blow nothing. You blow people out. Well, they are still a proud team, Skip. Steph Curry is a 2-time league MVP. The last time he won that award, he got all of them.
He got them all.
Nobody can say that.
Back to back.
Klay Thompson is one of the top 5 shooters in NBA history.
He is.
They won 73 games before KD even came to the Bay Area. 4 of those 5 guys that were on that roster started Friday night.
Yep.
So they know what they represent. This was an opportunity. Sometimes we fall in love and everybody like, well, this is who they are now. Still like, y'all forgot about me. I got more MVPs than KD in the regular season. You do know that, right? So we're not going to take anything away from KD, but we were the Golden State Warriors before KD came. Don't ever lose sight of that. They just showed you that. What they're made of. You never underestimate the heart of a champion. And they were champions before, and they were so anxious and giddy to show what they could be again. So even if KD leave, they're like, okay, in the NBA, you think if KD leave, all of a sudden we gonna go down to the 7th or the 8th seed. Wrong.
I'll say this. I was very shocked that they put together that performance Friday in Houston without Kevin Durant. It was a foregone conclusion to me that we were going back to Oracle for Game 7.
Yes.
It got to the point where it was about 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It seemed like Houston was season control. They were up 7.
They did.
Largest lead.
I agree.
I text KD. I said, hey, man, Game 7 is going to be crazy. He texted me back immediately. We're winning this game.
Wow.
Really?
Then after the game, players, coaches went out of their way to bring up the fact that we need Kevin Durant. The fact that we're not advancing much farther than this without him. They didn't even have to go. They went out of their way to do that. And obviously, there's probably some motives behind that. There's a big decision to be made this offseason.
Yeah, we need you, bro.
But beside that, we can't, if there are people, and I agree with everything both of you guys said, but there are people that still say that they don't need them, that the Warriors can go on and do this without them. Look, let me say this. That was one game in Friday in Houston.
It was sort of a game in a fourth.
Yeah, in fourth.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Golden State, their bench, this is the weakest bench that they've had in their postseason run.
Yeah.
And that was their greatest performance on Friday night.
That was their greatest
all year.
Greatest performance. And so you cannot think, if you think that this Warriors team, they can just flip the switch, go back to 2015, play that way, it'll work for stretches. But I'm going to tell you right now, when you need a clutch basket, that's where that man comes in at. That's what he comes in. That's what so I didn't, Skip, I applaud you, Skip. See, the more I come on this show, Skip,
wisdom
the more
is rubbing off by
see.
osmosis. I'm collecting your wisdom over here.
I like it, Skip.
Yeah.
It's progress.
It's actually rubbing off the other way. But
31 bench points when they've been giving you about 10.
I can't even remember any of the bench.
But it was Kevon Looney had 14 to offense. Sean Livingston played huge.
Yeah.
But
Iguodala played like he was 22.
But hold on, let's give some props to the Portland Trailblazers now. Yeah. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum.
Well,
those boys, they're not going to.
You know them well.
They're not going to let up. Damian Lillard, his home going back.
Well, that's perfect, Chris, because we're going to talk about CJ and his night. Yeah. Did he have a LeBron-esque performance?
Do you think KD's going to play or not? What's
we
your
have
gut?
An update?
Any gut?
I think he'll eventually play in the series.
Okay, in this series.
In this series, I think.
Right.
But I believe he's gonna miss the first 2 games.
All right.
Thanks for your insight.
Thank
always
you.
appreciate you being here. Let's talk about that performance from CJ. Was it LeBron-like? Today we'll discuss next.
No mercy.
It's time for our final topic of the day. CJ McCollum had a huge J-style block on Jamal Murray in the fourth quarter yesterday that reminded a lot of people of LeBron's block on Andre Iguodala in the 2016 finals. After the game, CJ said, quote, "I just went and got it Bron style." Shannon, do you like that comparison?
Love it. When I go to In-N-Out Burger, Skip, I know you don't eat that. They say, "How you want it, Mr. Sharpe?" I say, "Give it to me animal style."
Animal style.
Animal. Everything, the works. So this was the works. That's what LeBron did.
Really?
You heard what he said? Because both of them from that area, Skip, the 3-3-0. That's that Canton-Akron area.
You know what's funny about this? CJ's block was exactly like LeBron's because they were both teammate assisted. Because you know what happened in LeBron's? J.R. Smith headed off Iggy at the pass, cut underneath him and slowed him up so he lost his dribble for a second to allow LeBron to catch up and block a layup. And then in CJ's case, it was Seth Curry who cut off Jamal at the pass, cut underneath him, slowed him up so that CJ could catch up and block a left-handed layup. Way to go.
Yeah.
So, bicycle built for two in both cases. It took two men.
Jenny, that's what I do with those solicitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they on the block list. Can't get through.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray can't get through. CJ said, not on my watch.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's not on Seth Curry's watch either.
You want him on that wall. We needed him on that wall. Even though he beat the Nuggets.
LeBron missed J.R. Smith this year.
Don't do that.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.